The Celtics have an incredibly effective modern team, and Jason Tatum is a great modern player.
I've always been a fan of JB. Every year he gets better. It seems like this year he's even taking a bigger jump.
Pressure, half court, it's in the air. Oh, he got it! He did it again!
The Boston Celtics, the 2024 Larry O'Brien Trophy to the NBA Championships.
Today we are back here with another 20-year rebuild, and we are going to be controlling the team that just won the most recent NBA Finals, the Boston Celtics. And this is going to be a very fun rebuild to do because currently they are the best team in the NBA, but let's see how we look in 20 years from now. And we're going to add a couple new things to this 20-year rebuild and some similar things that you guys saw in the 20-year Dallas Mavericks rebuild that came out last weekend. First off, we're adding 2 new expansion teams at the end of this year. We'll add 2 more in 5 years and 2 more in 10 years from now. Also, you guys like that where at one point in this rebuild, I need to strip it all down and I have to go into a rebuild myself. So at one point, we do have to trade everybody that is above a age of 25, and then we can rebuild throughout a young core, anybody on rookie contracts going forward. So at one point, we may have to trade Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, or maybe somebody else that is on the team. And then another thing that I'm going to implement into this rebuild, you guys can let me know if I should change it all. At one point, if I go above negative $75 million in cap space, I have to forfeit that year's draft pick. So I can be okay with that. If I think that can go all in, win a championship, that's fine, but I will have to give up that year's draft pick every single year that happens. But as long as I'm under negative $75 million in cap space, we'll be just fine. And at one point, the Celtics could get there next year, negative $74.93 million. Then it goes down a little bit. So obviously I'd like to keep the Jays for as long as I can. Who knows where Drew Holiday's going to be? Who knows where Derek White's going to be? Or Kristaps Porzingis? And thankfully, Start Today is back here in NBA 2K25. And my goal today is to win at least 5 championships with the Celtics team. That was my goal in the Mavericks rebuild, and then we won 5 finals to start things off. We're currently the 2 seed right now behind the Cavs, and it's nice that Start Today is fixed because the Cavs are going to be at the top of the Eastern Conference. Atlanta's good, though, but they do have Miles Bridges now. Interesting. And the Jays are getting it done with Jason Tatum playing at an MVP caliber level, and then you have Jaylen Brown playing really well. Kristaps Porzingis is back, averaging 17 points, 6.5 rebounds. I mean, the goal this year is to win a championship. I honestly don't think I'm going to make any trades with this team right now. I'm not sure if Al Horford is going to retire. I probably think he will. And Luka Doncic ends up with MVP. Alex Sarr is your Rookie of the Year. Men Thompson, 6th Man of the Year. Wemby takes home Depoy. Cade, Most Improved. And Anthony Edwards is your Clutch Player of the Year. All NBA first team, no Jason Tatum. Okay, we're going to remember that. Jason Tatum not on second team, but he does make All NBA third team. Do we get anybody on an all defensive team? We do not. And we are the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, so we ended up getting that over the Cleveland Cavaliers. We did have the same record. We did have the tiebreaker, and we also had 4 points better in the point differential, which is something to see that, okay, I think the East runs through Boston once again. As we're going to figure out the playoff rotation, I mean, this is probably the best 1 through 5 in all of basketball. I think we're going to opt for, I want to go with Luke Cornett off the bench. I actually think I may go for a little bit more size. I was going to say in Nehemiah's Keita, but we do have Al Horford. But, you know, Keita can get about 10 minutes a night. We're going to go 15 to Hauser, about 18 to Al Horford. Not going to rely too much on him because he's older. Peyton Pritchard was phenomenal this year, 24 minutes a night. Who knows? He may be the eventual starting point guard for this team going forward. 33 to KP. Let's go 39 to Tatum, 39 to Jaylen Brown, or 38 to Brown is fine. Let's go 33 to Derek White. Honestly, we could preserve some of these guys because I'd also like to go 33 to Drew Holiday. Here we go. Game number 1 against Chicago, and we do end up beating them by 4 points. Jason Tatum had 28 and 13. I also lowered the trade frequency, so hopefully we don't see any crazy moves. I mean, this one's kind of interesting. CJ McCollum and Trey Murphy for first and Fred VanVleet. Miles Bridges was traded for Clint Capella. Yeah, this is like a Chicago team that we shouldn't have any issues beating. So let's just see if we're... Oh my God. What just happened? So after I say that, literally moments after I say that, they go up 3-1. Oh my God. They ended up winning game 2 by 11, game 3 by 6, game 4 by 10. And then we're able to blow them out in game 5, win by 2 in game 6, and then we win by just 3 in game 7. How does that even happen? Like, what are we doing right now? Jason Tatum drops 27. Okay, Jaylen Brown, I'm going to need you to be better. Former Finals MVP Jaylen Brown. So Philadelphia still was able to make the playoffs. They're fully healthy. We'll see if we're able to beat them in the playoffs like we always do. And Embiid is yet... Wow. I was going to say going to make it to a conference finals, but Embiid finally beats Boston. They win in 5. man, I don't think Philly's going to beat Boston in the second round, especially this year. Tatum was unreal. Jaylen Brown was better. That was a very disappointing playoff loss. You have the Knicks and the Sixers in the conference finals, Minnesota and Dallas, and you have the Knicks and the Timberwolves here in the NBA finals, with the cat trade kind of portraying here, and Minnesota wins in 7. Well, I would say that was a disappointing start to things, because in the Mavericks 20 year, yeah, we won 5 out of the gate, and this year we don't end up doing so, as Al Horford does retire. So hopefully I'm able to bring back Neemias Queta for the cheap, because I'm fine with him as the backup center, but we are obviously not going to have as good of floor spacing coming off the bench because Al Horford retired. So we are adding 2 new expansion teams to the league. We're going to have Vegas go to the Pacific, Seattle to the Northwest, which makes sense that OKC will be joining the Southwest, and it's either going to be Memphis or New Orleans going over to the East. And I'm cool with this. I'm cool with Memphis going to the Southeast, and we're going to get DC up there in the Atlantic with those teams going forward. Yeah, that's something cool. I saw something that like the Pelicans or the Timberwolves or some of these teams that are kind of like Central America, or at least for the NBA graph or geography, that they're trying to get to the Eastern Conference if 2 Western Conference teams get added, because the East is so inferior to the West, which I just thought was funny. And the Thunder get the #1 overall pick. Come on. So we do have our first round pick this year at 26. We do own most of our first round picks going forward, outside of that one from the Derek White trade, which it looks like is in that 2028 season. We'll have to swap with the Spurs, so we're going to get a pick either way that year. Yeah, we're going to be fine. Wow, I can't believe they got Drew Holiday for basically no future outright picks, and it's more swapped. And we are here at the expansion draft, where I'm not going to be able to keep Queta. I'd rather keep Queta over Xavier Tillman. So I'd rather keep Baylor Shireman, but I don't know, because like Hauser, Pritchard, Holiday, I feel like if I don't keep Queta, like they would draft Xavier Tillman. So I'm going to keep Shireman and just hope that they draft somebody out of this trio. It's not Neemias Queta. So let's do that expansion draft. The Supersonics have the #1 overall pick. Oh my God. Trae Young wasn't kept. Why? All right. Well, I should have changed the protection limits. That is insane that Trae Young. Okay. I don't know why he wasn't kept. Jalen Suggs. Okay. These teams are going to be unreal. Wow. Yeah, Dante DiVincenzo, Jalen Wells. What? Okay, this is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. Did we even lose a player? Or were we one of the teams that didn't end up losing a player? Wow, that is insane. No, Xavier Tillman was drafted. Okay, well, I guess I messed that up. Can't look at the protected player list. I was going to try to see what went wrong. Who did Atlanta keep over Trae Young? And the #1 overall pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder, are going to be selecting Cooper Flagg. So they may be a dynasty of their own coming very soon. Nolan Traore goes to the Brooklyn Nets at 2. Ace Bailey to the Pelicans at 3. Igor Demon to the Heat at 4, and then Dylan Harper, the first pick in Supersonics history. And come on, now you watch the first pick in Las Vegas Vipers history. And with this pick, I'm going to go with the athletic wing, Carter Knox from Arkansas. He was originally committed to Kentucky. He left when John Calipari went to Arkansas. He's the younger brother of Kevin Knox. And we did have an early second round pick as well, and I'm going to take Mackenzie Mbako from Indiana. I really like this draft class for us, as we are going to sign Carter and Mackenzie, and it's going to be Carter with a K, because that is how it's spelled. So team player options, we don't have any. Kyrie Irving, do we want a reunion in Boston? That's not going to happen. So I will have to be kind of cautious about my cap space, because if it's going to be like this right now, we're slated to make $3 million over than what I need. And it's going to be like the moment the season starts. Once I press the season starts, we are locked into that rate. I can't make a trade midseason, and I will have to forfeit my draft pick. So do I want to trade a couple guys? Do I want to move on from Sam Hauser potentially? And we are going to do that. I'm going to trade Sam Hauser to the Charlotte Hornets. He gets to reunite with Charles Lee, who's obviously the head coach there, former Celtics assistant. We're getting Dallas's unprotected first in 2027. So they theoretically just moved PJ Washington for Sam Hauser, but he's under a good contract. He's a good 3-point shooter. Could be a nice floor spacer for LaMelo Ball. They're probably trying to win now at that point and want some veteran talent. So looking at this team, I don't really know if I'm going to bring anybody back. We may just have to go for the minimums. Right now, yeah, we're at negative $68 million. And I'm going to hope to bring 2 veterans in. Ty Jerome, shout out the Virginia Cavaliers. He's been playing very well for the Cleveland Cavaliers in real life. And we are going to also sign Chris Boucher as well, who has won an NBA title. Sorry, Luke Cornett, you are going to be gone. And Chris Middleton goes to the Clippers. I wonder if that means James Harden, yeah, he's probably no longer going back to LA. And Drew Holiday regresses a decent amount. He is down to an 83 overall. That is turning into somewhat of a negative contract, I think, very soon, as Kristaps is in the last year of his deal. And this is what the rotation is going to look like this year. Drew Holiday is getting up there in age, so I want to see more out of Peyton Pritchard this year. So Drew's going to play 27 minutes a night. He'll probably play more come playoff time. Derek White at the 2. The Jays playing 38 minutes a night, and then KP at the 5. With a bench of Peyton Pritchard, Baylor Shireman, Neemias Queta, Ty Jerome, and then Jordan Walsh was going to play a little bit. We did have to sign Troy Brown Jr. as well to fill out some roster spots. I hope that didn't put me over your 75. Oh my God, it did. All right. I didn't even think I needed to sign another vet. Well, now I kind of regret signing Ty Jerome to $3 million because that's, oh my God. See, that's what the challenge is. If I gave Ty Jerome the minimum, what Boucher got, I could have actually been fine under the $75 million. So I have to forfeit my first round pick this year, which is brutal. So I could either just like not sign the rookie I draft, but I think that's like pointless. So you know what? I'll usually give it to some bad teams. I was going to give it to maybe one of the expansion teams, but they did fine in those drafts. So you know what, Washington, I will give you my first round pick for basically free this year. We start off the season with a nice blowout win against the Milwaukee Bucks. Jaylen Brown had 47. Why are we scheduled to a back-to-back to start off the year? We do beat the Las Vegas Vipers, who are led by Jeremy Grant, Jalen Suggs. Is that Tyus Jones, CJ McCollum? How are they able to draft Tyus Jones? He's on the minimum. Oh, maybe they probably signed him in free agency. That makes more sense. We start off the year 3-1. Our system proficiency is 4.5 stars under Joe Maz. And we are here at the trade deadline with a 31-19 record. We're currently the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. The Hawks are doing just fine with no Trae Young and Kobe Buffkin at the helm with Daniels, Risa Shea Johnson. And oh, they have Jalen Duren now. How are the expansion teams doing? Well, in the East, the Grizzlies, they're struggling in a way. They're 24-26, but they'll probably be fine long term. Vegas Vipers are 24-25, and the Seattle Supersonics with Trae Young and Andrew Nembhard and Zach LaVine. How are they this bad? But I feel like we're not as good as maybe 2K thinks. Like, I don't know, as real life, we should be better. I feel like 2K doesn't think that well of us, as Derek White's been good. I mean, Peyton Pritchard, he may start over Drew Holiday in the playoffs. This is turning into one of the worst contracts in the league. I thought about moving KP. I mean, we're going to have a little bit of money to spend. He will re-sign with us. I just don't want to give KP 4 years. I don't, because that takes him to his age 34 season. He's fine, but Holiday's contract, like, I'm going to probably, I mean, we're slated to be negative 46 over the cap next year, but that's with no KP. So you add KP, that's gonna be like negative $80 million. So that means in the offseason, I'd have to trade Kristaps Porzingis. I'm not getting anything good for Drew Holiday. Do I trade Derek White? Because when I'm thinking about blowing up this team for for when I have to do that, I want to do it when I have my first round pick. So that's not going to come until at least 2030. And we also don't own our 2029 first. When I said that and they didn't have to give up a real first in that Drew Holiday trade, that was just wrong by me. So we're going to ink up KP on an extension. He may honestly get traded in the offseason if I can't find a Drew trade that makes sense. Or I'm going to have to move Derek White. So Luka wins MVP in back-to-back years. Ace Bailey of the Pelicans. So it's cool. Let's start today. The Pelicans are picking high in these drafts because they have all these injuries in real life. Men Thompson's your 6th man of the year. Wemby Depoy. Jalen Suggs, most improved here in Vegas. And you do see Trae Young in Seattle on All-NBA first team. Jason Tatum on All-NBA second team. We have nobody here on All-NBA third team. My God, Celtics legend Xavier Tillman was horrible, but he ends up on all defensive first team somehow. I don't really know how that happened. We didn't get anybody making an all rookie team. So we finished as the 4th seed. We're taking on Toronto in round number 1. I just feel like, yeah, 2K doesn't like the Celtics as much as real life does. Like, they're not as good in this game as they are in real life. So I'm not even that confident that we're going to go over the hump this year. So figuring out the rotation, do I want to even play Drew Holiday? He's obviously a great defender, but the shot has dropped off a little bit. So I think I'm going to lower his minutes to 24. Him and Peyton Pritchard are just basically going to split minutes. We're going to go 40 to these guys. Baylor Shireman this year did shoot 40% from 3, but he's going to get about 15 minutes. I think I'm going to go 34 to KP. Ty Jerome was good this year. Jordan Walsh wasn't terrible. Only averaged a point and a half a night, but I think I'm going to give those 5 minutes to Derek White. Can White, Brown, and Tatum really lead the way for us? Can we beat the Toronto Raptors in round number 1? Yep, 2K just doesn't like us, I think. So we end up losing in 7. Do I just blow up the team now? Do I just trade everybody right now? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to trade. Jaylen Brown was pretty good in this series. Tatum was solid. I mean, the efficiency was okay for his standards, but I feel like we shouldn't have lost the series. We lost by 27 in game 1, 17 in game 2. We blow them out in game 3. We get blown out in game 4. We won by, this was the game where game 5 we win, but then we win game 6. So yeah, they were up 3-1. Tatum drops 46. And then we get blown out in game 7. All right, yeah. I think we're going to make a big trade this offseason. And I don't know who's going to be the center on this team going forward, as the Raptors made it to the NBA Finals and they actually win it all. Okay. So I don't know who the center would be long term if I traded KP. So I may actually trade Derek White. All right. So Steph, Harden and DeRozan end up retiring, end of an era from that 2009 draft class. Greg Popovich enters up retiring as well. Harden and Curry enter the Hall of Fame. I wonder if DeRozan is going to make it. I feel like he's going to be some guy on the fringe pretty much. I think he ends up getting in. Like, he's 35th in all-time scoring, and you would think he's going to end up being around top 20 by the time he retires. So we actually had to give Washington, not that bad of a pick. I also on pick 23 in this draft. The Pelicans got number 1, Thunder got number 2, Sonics 3, Lakers 4. Okay, so yeah, that Pelicans team is interesting, especially if they take another wing, if they take the Benza. I'm not going to fire Joe Maz. We're going to bring him back. Now, the Raptors just won a title, but they're willing to do Grady Dick and a future first-round pick for Derek White. And I don't know if Grady Dick is going to cost more than Derek White at $30 million a year when that happens. And this contract is going to hurt. But yeah, I think we got to get out of it now because I don't know. Maybe we end up moving Grady Dick at one point, but at least it gives us a sharpshooter. We can keep that threes identity. I don't love him and Peyton Pritchard eventually as the backcourt defensively. Like, that scares me a little bit, but I think this gives us a good move right now. And AJ Dybantsa goes to New Orleans. So did they re-sign Brandon Ingram? Because if so, they have a lot of wings on their team right now. It's not like we need a wing by any chance, but they have Zion, Ingram. They drafted Ace Bailey, and they just drafted Dybantsa. They have Herb Jones. You know what? People want to say I'm the biggest idiot sometimes. I am the biggest idiot. Grady Dick got extended. I was like, why could I trade for him right now? I feel like he would have a team option. No, he got extended. And it's going to be more than Derek White's contract. See, this is just why I am an idiot. Exhibit A. So I guess it's going to provide even more of a challenge for me as I want to win 5 championships, but we have been off to not the greatest start, winning in the first 2 years. We have won, one playoff series in the first 2 years. Thunder, oh my God, they end up with Cameron Boozer and Darren Peterson. Thank God we are in the East. And we ended up taking a big man in City Gay there with the 9th overall pick, or excuse me, 9th overall in the second round. Glenn Roberts in the second round as well. Jordan Walsh, Baylor Shireman, we're going to pick those up on. Mackenzie Mbako, $4.7 million for a second round pick seems so high, but I'm going to pick it up. I think we're going to have to make another trade. Grady Dick. So what I think we're okay with right now this year, though, Grady Dick's contract does not kick in until next year, correct? Yeah, so right now we're still at negative 75 million, but I guess that's with KP. I don't know how we're at negative 75 million. I feel like we should be less than that. I don't think that's counting like these trade exceptions at all. All right, so I don't know what I'm going to do because currently we were over that amount. So next year, we actually drop, which I don't know if it's including that Drew Holiday contract. You know what? So if I'm going to be over the cap this year, we might as well sign Marcus Smart. Let's bring home. Can I not really afford him? Can I? Okay, I can afford him on that. Yeah, 1+1 for Marcus Smart. Let's do it. Why not? And I'm going to make this trade with the Seattle Supersonics. Ty Jerome and Jordan Walsh is going to free up about $5 million, and I'm going to send them off to Seattle for 3 second-round picks. So Drew Holiday regresses down to a 79 overall. Isn't that great? Grady Dick is up to an 84. Peyton Pritchard is an 80, so maybe he has peaked with his overall. And I want to see like what some of the young guys can do. So I don't even know if I'm going to play Marcus Smart that much. Like Drew Holiday regressing. I should have traded him in the first offseason. KP is going to get 34. Let's go 38 to Tatum and Brown. Grady Dick, you're going to play a bunch of minutes. 33 a night. Peyton Pritchard, 27 is fine with me. Marcus Smart, yeah, 10 minutes a night. Mbako and Carter Knox are going to get 15 apiece. And we will go about 20 or 19 to Drew Holiday. I don't have a lot of confidence in this team. Even though we're 4.5-star balanced, we have a really good team on paper. I don't know if that's going to put us over the hump trading Derek White to Grady Dick. Probably not. So it's going to be an interesting season. KP had a horrible game 1, but we did win. Oh my God. We're 22 and 28. Yeah, Celtics free rolls are kind of tough in 2K. That's not good at all. We are the 12th seed in the Eastern Conference. Do I just blow up this team right now? I honestly maybe do. I could blow up this team. I would trade away Brown, KP. I don't think anybody's taking Drew. Do I trade Jason Tatum? KP shooting 39% from the field. What is going on? Please tell me I own my first round pick in 2027. Thank God. Thank God we do. But yeah, I don't know what to do. I really don't. So we do own our first round pick this year because I'm 99% sure I'm under the 75. Oh my God, I'm over it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have to give up my first round pick this year. Rules are rules, Matt. Rules are rules. All right. Well, why did I pick up the team option on Mackenzie Mbako? Because that put me over. Oh my God. All right. Well, this sucks. So you know what? Who's ever like the worst team in the league, or whoever gets like the top pick that it's their pick and it's not like the Thunder owning another team's pick, I'll just send it to them. So I got to go all in. I don't own my first round pick this year because we are over that second apron thing I threw in. This is embarrassing. So I think what we're going to do right now How has Kata been? He's been fine. Marcus Smart's out of the rotation. He's just not been good this year. He's basically washed in this league. McKenzie's been actually pretty good. Carter Knox has not been great either. He's getting 10 minutes a night. We're going to go like 18 to Mbako. Actually, I'm going to go 23 to Mbako. He is now the 6th man. Drew Holiday. Oh, please retire Drew at the end of the year. I should have traded him after year 1. This is insane. Kristaps stinks. He stinks. I don't know what happened. We're going to go 40 to these guys. We're going to go 40 to this trio just so I don't have to give up a good draft pick at the end of the year. Pritchard's been fine. Grady Dick's been really good, but I'm probably going to have to trade him at the end of the year. All right, we're going to do something right now. His contract is going to go up a little bit, but I'm going to bring back Peyton Pritchard on a 3-year deal worth around $36 million, a little bit more than that. And Shea wins MVP this year, went to Luka the last 2 years. Carter Bryant is your Rookie of the Year for the Milwaukee Bucks. Igor Demon, 6th Man of the Year. Wemby Depoy, Most Improved goes to Dylan Harper. All right, balling out over there in Seattle. And then Nikola Jokic is your Clutch Player of the Year. As De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper, the backcourt in Seattle, all NBA first team. I have to remember to change their minutes because they're probably playing like 40 minutes a night. We did get Jason Tatum on all NBA second team. I'm hoping the East was really bad this year and we still made the playoffs. Oh my God. Oh my God. We have to forfeit a good draft pick. This is insane. Oh my God. We went 38 and 44. We missed out on the play-in tournament. How does this team go 38 and 44? I don't get it. 2K hates the Celtics. They hate them. And me not realizing Grady Dick got an extension is going to make me forfeit a draft pick. Watch us win the lottery. Oh my God, I'm going to have to give up a top 16 pick in this draft. The 7-seeded Hornets, or 7-seeded Pistons versus the 8-seeded Hornets was the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Hornets swept them. Thunder beat the Rockets at 7, and the Thunder beat the Hornets in 5 in the NBA Finals. So there goes Kevin Durant. He retires on the Kings. Paul George retires on the Philadelphia 76ers. I feel like there was a year left on your deal. Drew Holiday, why couldn't you do the same? Unless he did and I'm missing him. Nope, we had Rashawn Holmes retire on the main Celtics, but we didn't have Drew Holiday retire, which is great. So we're going to have to owe him $30+ million next year. Draymond Green and Kevin Durant get their jerseys retired. And I'm being realistic. I'm being fair. Nobody wants that Drew Holiday contract either way. We're there at 12. Don't make me go into the top 4. Thank God. We dropped to 13. So the Jazz, they're balling out. They ended up getting, wow, shout out to the Pelicans getting the number 1 pick, like again. Jazz got 2, and then they have 3 via the Russell Westbrook trade. So you guys are going to get 2. You guys are going to get 3. And I'm going to give them pick 13. We are able to keep Dallas's pick, though, because the rule is just I have to get rid of my pick. So that sucks. I'm going to have to get rid of the 13th overall pick in a good draft. I think I'm going to blow this team up. I'm thinking about it. Jaylen Brown. I can't believe I'm never going to get another ring with the Jays. I fumbled that so badly. The Wizards have cap space. Could I somehow get Bub, Aiden Sheridan, pick 12, and a future first round pick with the 76ers, all for Jaylen Brown? They are going to say no to that for some reason. Could I throw in, I mean, I don't really have much of a throw in, a second rounder. See, it's just tough to make trades in 2K sometimes because they never really want to give up a ton of picks. So I don't know. We're going to figure out what we want to do. I'm not going to fire Maz. See, I don't get why the Seattle Supersonics wouldn't want to do this trade. Jaylen Brown, 2 future first round picks, Aaron Wiggins and Andrew Nembhard. I don't get it. All right, so I don't think I'm going to blow up this team yet. I really can't find any deals that make sense. The Pelicans get Brandon McCoy with the number 1 pick. We end up taking Trent Perry, a shooting guard out of Texas, with my first round pick. But the problem is I'm probably going to be over. Oh my God, I hate Drew Holiday so much right now. I was going to say I'm probably going to be over the $75 million, which means I'm going to have to give up my first round pick next year as well if I don't trade away Grady Dick. We're letting Marcus Smart walk. Oh my God. I'm going to bring back Baylor Shireman. I probably shouldn't even do that. Sidney Gay I'm going to bring back, but not Glenn Roberts. So if we look at free agency right now, I would like to bring back Mackenzie Mbako. I think he's actually pretty good. But if we look at our salary cap breakdown, yeah, oh my God. We are at 109. Oh my God, this is insane. It's just going up because Tatum and Brown's contracts. All right, I'm going to do this trade with the LA Lakers. We are going to be trading away Grady Dick and a 2028 Raptors first round pick in exchange for Keegan Murray and Rui Hachimura. We are going to save about $7 million with this trade. I'm not totally done. I would like to eventually flip Rui, but obviously I can't because of the 60-day restriction. But the Seattle Supersonics are looking to make a move. They want Kristaps Porzingis. I'm going to get Chris Anax, who was the 3rd overall pick out of LSU in last year's draft. I'm getting a future first round pick as well. This is going to save us major money. So that still puts us at negative $76 million. Unfortunately, we may be all right there. Now, I don't know if I can move Baylor Shireman, but funny enough, I'm actually going to do this trade with the Atlanta Hawks. Drew Holiday has 1 year left on his deal. He's still a good defender. I'm getting Killian Hayes. I'm getting a meme here, but I'm just doing this trade to save myself $25 million against my restriction. Therefore, I can own my first round pick this year, which is still just going to be late because I got to swap it with the Spurs. So I'm going to bring back Neemias Queta. I'm going to hopefully bring back Mackenzie Mbako. We have these insane trade exceptions that I'm not going to use right now. I don't know. I feel like Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown would ask out by now. And we are going to get Mackenzie back on the qualifying offer at $5.8 million. It's Tatum, Brown, and then a bunch of role players or young players around them. Hopefully, it just feels like a new era with no longer having KP or Drew Holiday here. And this has definitely been, one of the more challenging starts. It's a different day for me. Hopefully have a different vibe, maybe a different philosophy on how I want to build this team. Because right now, we're still relying on the Jays a ton. We're going to have them play 36 minutes a night. Peyton Pritchard and Mackenzie Mbako backcourt. We're a long way or days away from the Drew Holiday, Derek White backcourt. We have Chris Nack here as our center. Hopefully we can develop him over time. Keegan Murray, Hashimura, Knox, Shireman, and Neemias Queta is still here on the team. We'll see how we do this year. If we do struggle, then I may fire Joe Mazzulla, which I don't want to do. All right, so we are here in the month of January, and we are better right now than we were last year. And I made some notable changes in the offseason. We are 26-20 so far through our first 46 games. We are currently the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. And while Detroit is good, right? Brooklyn, they're good record-wise. Indiana, I do still feel like we can run the table in the Eastern Conference. We do have our leading scorer being Jason Tatum, followed by Jaylen Brown. Then you're getting a little bit of Keegan Murray. Mackenzie Mbako is progressing as a really good player in this league, but he wanted like $25 million before I got him back on the qualifying offer. So I don't know how much longer he'll be on this team. 12 and 7.5 for Peyton Pritchard this year, shooting 41% from 3. I will take that. Chris Nack, not terrible as a big man. 2.6 blocks is definitely encouraging. And then I think we're going to look into the Rui Hashimura trade market. Carter Knox, our first round pick back in 2025, has been better this year, which is nice to see. And we are going to make this trade with the San Antonio Spurs. Devin Vassell, not the player he used to be or the player he got this contract extension from for the Spurs, but we're taking on Gregor Ellis, who was the third pick in 2027. I'm giving them Killian Hayes is expiring and Rui Hashimura. So they will save about $14 million next year with this trade as well. And thankfully, we are under that $75 million threshold that I put us at. So we could either make Devin Vassell a starter. He can come off the bench. I like what Baylor Shireman has done this season. Like, we have a good amount of wings. And I think I'm going to insert him into the starting 5. And he's going to play around 27 minutes a night. And he'll be an expiring contract too. I could look to flip it in the offseason if I really wanted to. But Pritchard, Vassell, Brown, Tatum, Chris Nack, it's not terrible. Like, we're trending, I think, back in the right direction up to 4.5 star balance. And something to keep an eye on, Jaylen Brown is a free agent in 2020, 29 after next year's season. Tatum could be a free agent in 3 years. I think this would be the offseason to think about some changes, but I'm going to hope that we can go on a run. We're 5 games above 500. And Luka Doncic, who is now a Golden State Warrior, wins another MVP. Tyron Stokes, the number 2 overall pick, because I think Brandon McCoy was the number 1 pick. He ends up getting Rookie of the Year. 6th Man of the Year is AJ Debinsa in New Orleans. Wemby wins Depoy. And Chris Nack, Most Improved. Okay, there we go here in Boston. Not sure if a second-year man deserves that award. And are we going to see anybody on all NBA teams from the Boston Celtics? We do not, unfortunately. All right, I don't know. I don't think vibes are too high in Boston as we are the 5 seed right now. And I don't know. This has just been really challenging. 43-39 with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I know we had a different team this year, but I thought we had really good role players around them. And I'm nervous for the playoffs. So I think Kate has got to play. I don't think I'm going to play Baylor Shireman, even though he was a good offensive player for us this year. I like the wings off the bench. Do I play Carter Knox? Maybe I don't even play Carter Knox. Maybe we actually give Shireman about 10 minutes a night, Kate 10 minutes a night. We're going to go 20 to Mbako, 25 to Murray. Let's go 40 to Tatum and Brown. Let's go 33 to Chris Nack. I think next year I would like to get maybe a better backup center than Queta, even though I kind of like what he's been doing for us. Let's go 32 to Pritchard, 30 to Vassell. And we're taking on the Orlando Magic, who have Anthony Black and VJ Edgecombe. They're in the backcourt. Arkansas and Baylor, pretty cool. Jed Howard, Paolo Banchero, Vooch, Franz Wagner, for some reason, is coming off the bench. Game number 1, we end up winning. Hey, there we go. We won by 1 point in Orlando. Game number 2 is going to go to Boston. Hey, we're up 2-0. We beat them in overtime, Tim. So we win by 1 and then by 2 in OT on the road. Hey, I'll take that. And we go up 3-0. Oh my God, we won by 2. I would be livid if I was a Magic fan right now. All 3 of our wins are within 2 points, and we swept them. Oh my God, and we won by 2. That is insane. We won by 1, by 2, by 2, and then by 2. 3 straight games winning by 2 points. Hey, we got it done. We clutched it out. Jaylen Brown was phenomenal. And the Knicks, as the 8 seed, upset the Nets in round number 1. Yeah, I think this Knicks team is better than that Nets team on paper. Here we go. Boston, New York. Game 1 goes to Boston. We end up winning by 20. Here we go. Game number 2 goes to New York. They end up winning by 16. Brunson had 36 against us. Game number 3 is going to go to the Boston Celtics. We win 136, 116. Jaylen Brown with 23. Tatum with 21, 7 and 5. Game number 4 goes to New York. 137, 126. Jaylen Brown with 27. Jason Tatum with 24. Big game 5 here. It does go to the Knicks. We lost in overtime. 64 combined between Tatum and Brown. It's really not them. I just don't know. Peyton Pritchard has been phenomenal in the playoffs as a 30-year-old. That contract extension is looking like a steal of a deal. Game number 6, backs against the wall, and we get eliminated by the 8 seed. I think this is officially the end of the Jays era in Boston. And I think I'm going to blow up this team in the offseason. I hate to see it. I really do. I didn't get a single ring with Tatum and Brown. That is unfortunate, as you have the Knicks and the Thunder in the NBA Finals. And the Thunder beat the 8-seeded Knicks in 7. Shay's your Finals MVP. Damn, it really is about to be an end of an era here in Boston. I may even fire Joe Mazzulla as well. So here in the draft lottery, we swap our pick with the San Antonio Spurs. Unfortunately, we get the worst of the two. So we are going to get our pick at 22. The Spurs are at 19. So honestly, I'll take that. Supersonics have the number 1 overall pick. Do they want to make a splash? I don't know how they had the number 1 overall pick. You have Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox balling out. Now, do I want to try to get a new head coach here? Do I try to get Steve Kerr? Do I ride out Joe Mazzulla? Because I honestly think this team is just cursed right now. So I may keep him around unless I want to hire JJ Redick. But I'm going to keep him around, I think, for 1 more year. All right, so we may try to do this trade with the Utah Jazz, but we got to eat into Lauri Markkanen's contract to make the money work. We're going to reunite Jaylen Brown with Danny Ainge, the GM of the Jazz, for the 3rd overall pick in this draft. We'll see if they do this. I would also like to see if I can get maybe another future first. So yeah, 3rd overall pick. Lauri Markkanen's expiring in a future first for Jaylen Brown. I didn't even think they were going to say yes to this. It's so annoying that I can't find a good trade for these guys. I don't know if I can throw in Neemias Queta. That doesn't work. All right, so instead of that 1st round pick, just give me like a worse 1st round pick. You're not even interested. So if I did Jaylen Brown for 3 and Lauri Markkanen, would you even say yes to that? Oh my God. I don't know why I can't trade Jaylen Brown whatsoever. Nobody wants him. All right, we're going to take Marty Barnes here with our 1st round pick. He's a 6'5" wing out of Florida. Yeah, this is crazy. So what I may have to do is trade Tatum next offseason and let Jaylen Brown walk for nothing. Yeah, I really wanted to get some of these guys at the top, this Paul or Baba guy. So we're going to sign Marty Barnes. We're going to sign Stuart Starks, who we got in the 2nd round here. We're going to pick up the team option on Senek and Carter Knox. We're going to let Gregor Ellis and Douglas Anderson walk. Now, I don't know, maybe after team player options, could I find a Jaylen Brown trade? All right, we're going to start off the fire sale. I'm trading Jason Tatum. I hate that I have to do it in conference. I didn't want to do this, but it's a good return. It's going to be Jason Tatum for Carter Bryant, who was the rookie of the year for his class, 22 years old. And I'm getting Jalen Duren, who's still just 24 years old. So I'm getting a brand new looking front court here that could still make us competitive. And it's one of the better deals I'm going to get. I would love to also get a 1st round pick from the Bucks as well. They may say no, unfortunately, which is pretty frustrating in 2K. So yeah, end of an era. Jason Tatum is getting traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. Hold on. It's also really dumb in this game too when you want to make a trade and then for some reason, if you just wait a little bit, they just end up declining something that was in the trade finder. So we're going to do this trade, and Jason Tatum, yeah, it's going to be a Milwaukee Bucks. And I want to stay competitive. I do. We're going to offer this trade with the Las Vegas Vipers. So Jaylen Brown is going to Vegas. Got to throw on a second here. I'm getting Will Riley, who was, I believe, in the same draft as Carter Bryant. And he was a really good player coming off a good season as a 22-year-old. I'm also getting Jalen Suggs in this deal. Kind of like a Derek White 2.0 for us. He could be the 1. He could be the 2 next year. But yeah, now Jaylen Brown is in Vegas. Now, if we were blowing it up, I think that's fine. Because Suggs could be like our not Malcolm Brogdon, but I guess Drew Holiday when he got traded technically to Portland in the Dame deal. That could be Suggs for now. But I would say the only other guy I would move is Peyton Pritchard, but he's too much of a role player. So I feel like just trading away the Jays alone is blowing it up. And we're going to give Mackenzie Mbako, City Gay, and Baylor Sharman all the qualifying offers. And watch this team just do better in the sim next year because 2K just hates Tatum and Brown in Boston. So yeah, Queta is now the 3rd string center. Sinak's going to be the number 2 center. Jalen Duren's going to start. Carter Bryant at the 4. Keegan Murray at the 3. We have plenty of wings right now. And I'm actually going to send Devin Vassell and his expiring to Atlanta for some draft picks going forward. I kind of like that return. Maybe like a little bit better than the Jason Tatum return, which is funny. So we do have the Supersonics first this year. I believe that is from the Kristaps Porzingis trade. We're going to have some Atlanta Hawks picks going forward as well. Look at all these trade exceptions too. Vassell, Holiday, and Kristaps, all like bags right there that we could use. And we're going to get all these guys back on the qualifying offers. We get Mbako back, we get Gay back, and we get Baylor Shireman back. Here is player progression. It's a new era of Boston Celtics basketball. We did win the 2024 NBA championship, but we have yet to get back since. So we're gonna hope this new era of Celtics basketball could take us all the way. Will Riley is currently at Illinois. Carter Bryant is currently at Arizona. All right, so we're going to play a ton of guys this year because I want to evaluate what we have going forward. We could either be buyers or sellers at the deadline. It's going to be a Peyton Pritchard, Jalen Suggs backcourt, which I'm kind of excited to see how they do on both ends of the floor. Keegan Murray at the 3, don't forget about him. Carter Bryant and Jalen Duren with a bench of Mackenzie Mbako, Will Riley, C Squared, Carter Knox, and Trent Berry, who was our first round pick back in 2027. I think that was like a Mavericks first round pick that we used. So I'm actually going to lock up Keegan Murray before the season starts. I don't know if this will make him ineligible to be traded at the deadline, but I feel like getting this price throughout the last couple of years of his prime is a good deal for us. It looks like Carter Bryant wants to test free agency. Okay, sure. We'll keep an eye on that. I thought he would have like a team option, or is this actually the last year of his deal? Which really wouldn't make a lot of sense. Okay, it is. Oh, because he sat out his rookie season. Okay, gotcha. All right, we'll keep an eye on him this year. First game on the road against the Thunder. We ended up losing by 13. Might not. Oh, wait. Do I have my first round pick this year? 2029? I do not. Okay. Also, maybe a poor year to trade Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Hopefully, we are respectable. And we are 34-19 at the deadline. We are the 3 seed in the Western Conference. This is one of our best deadline records we've had in this video, which is just insane because this is year number 4 and we've already eclipsed our win total of last year's season, or excuse me, this is year number 5 and we are 9 games away from last year's season. I was looking at that wrong, which is really fine with me at this point. We are getting everybody involved on this team with Jalen Duren averaging a double-double. He's making $41 million a year. I'm glad he's playing well. Carter Bryant looking pretty good. Now, I don't know if this makes him restricted, but I think it does. I think I'm going to maybe hold off on trading him. I think we want to keep him around. Will Riley looks a legitimate starter as well going forward. Jalen Suggs, great veteran in the room, good defender, 43% from 3. Keegan Murray's been all right, maybe somewhat disappointing, but I like that we have a veteran here. Mackenzie's been good. Peyton Pritchard, 6 assists a night, 33%. I just like that we are competitive right now. And it looks like Carter Bryant wants to test free agency. Suggs at that price, I don't really want to get him back on because I do have to remember, I don't want to go over negative 75 million, which means we have about 50 million to spend right now. I don't know if Duren's ever going to opt out, which is fine by me. And I'm not worried about getting off of this Murray contract or Suggs if we needed to shed money there. And I don't think I'm going to invest $60 million in centers. And I'm going to make this trade at the deadline. It may hurt us this year. It may not. Mackenzie Mbako, really good. And he's 24 years old. But I'm not going to be able to afford him when he's unrestricted this year because he's not going to be restricted again. I'm going to trade him and Stuart Starks in exchange for Jordan Hawkins from the Sacramento Kings, who's playing very good this year. And he's under contract next year as well. And we're also getting Isaiah Hartenstein. And if I move on from Kristen Ack to save some money in the offseason, he could be the veteran center behind Jalen Duren next year. So we're going to make this trade with the Kings. And Trent Berry has been good this year, but I think just because of the deep team, he's not going to be in this rotation going forward. I'm also going to give Jordan Hawkins probably like 24 minutes a night. Hartenstein can get around 15 as well. And Cooper Flagg wins MVP okay here in the 2029 season. Nathan Solomon here is your rookie of the year. Pretty good player from the drafted to the Lakers from France, front court guy. Josh Giddey is your 6th man of the year. Wemby Depoy, most improved goes to Brandon McCoy, the former #1 overall pick by the Pelicans. And Dylan Harper is your clutch player of the year. The Thunder went 71-11. All-NBA first team, you have Harper, Flagg, Wemby, Jokic, and Mobley. Mobley's still in Cleveland. And here's All-NBA second team with Ace Bailey, Luka Doncic, Fox, Boozer, and Halliburton. And third team with Kaman. Here in Vegas, Giannis, LaMelo, Shea, and Darius Cuff. So we'll see how far, okay, so Vegas with Jaylen Brown are the 8 seed. Milwaukee, they are the 7 seed with Brown and Tatum. Once again, we are the 4 seed. We're playing in the 4-5 matchup. I think last year we were technically the 5th seed. We're taking on Washington, who have Jeremy Showen and Alex Starr in that front court. This Paul guy was the #2 overall pick, and they also have Trae Young and Hugo Gonzalez in that backcourt. And it was pretty much a team effort this year. Will Riley definitely should have won 6 man of the year. 17 points per game off the bench. He basically led our team. So I'm actually going to start Will Riley over Keegan Murray for the playoffs, even though Murray was better down the stretch. Game number 1 against Washington, we win. And it just feels like maybe vibes are higher here. Peyton Pritchard, the only OG left, I guess technically, name is Keita as well, gets it done. We beat him by 40 in game number 2. Keegan Murray drops 22 points. Game 3 does go to DC. They end up beating us by 18 here. Carter Bryant, he's off to a good start in the playoffs as well. Game number 4 goes to Boston. We are up 3-1, and please do not blow a 3-1 lead, and we end up winning in 6. So we're taking on Orlando in round number 2, a team we beat last year. I don't really think I need to play 3 centers in the playoffs, so I'm actually going to go to Isaiah Hartenstein over Chris Sinak here, and we could probably go like 35 minutes to Duren, 32 to Carter Bryant, 33 to Will Riley, 32 to Suggs, and 29 to Peyton Pritchard. Here we go, taking on the Orlando Magic in round number 2. They have Davion Mitchell and VJ Edgecombe. That's cool because that's a Baylor backcourt. Walker Kessler at the 5. Drake Powell coming off the bench. Can we beat them to advance to the conference finals? No, we cannot. And we lose in round number 2 again. But at least we're a young team that I want to go all in sooner than later. I want to bring a championship back to the city of Boston. I don't know when that's going to happen. It's obviously not going to happen here. We do have plenty of years left in this rebuild. We have like 14 years left, so I'm confident that we're going to be able to bring multiple championships. And Jalen Suggs wasn't very good. I think there could be some type of notable move this offseason. Cooper Flagg is your Western Conference Finals MVP, and Paolo Banchero in the East, 2 former number 1 overall picks out of Duke, and the Magic lose to the Thunder in 7 with Flagg winning Finals MVP. I think Flagg also completed the trifecta this year as well, right? Because he won MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, and Finals MVP as well. There goes Rudy Gobert, Damian Lillard, Yusuf Nurkic, Marcus Smart, Celtics legend. I don't think we are going to retire his jersey number though. Sam Cassell ends up retiring, so we're going to need a new top assistant, as we do have Seattle's pick there at number 10. Could we get kind of lucky? We don't, but we stay at pick 10, which I am fine with. We do own our pick, I believe. Nope, the Suns own it at 24, but we do own Atlanta's pick at 18 from that Devin Vassell trade as well. All right, so the Lakers are offering me this trade, and I wish I could reroute Grady Dick because I don't really want Grady Dick. We already been there, done that, and there's some other guys that I want to play, and I could eventually move him at the trade deadline, but I want that number 1 overall pick. I don't want to move on from Keegan Murray, but I may have to. Jalen Suggs is going to be in this trade, pick 10, and a future second for Grady Dick, and pick 1. We're gonna do this, I think. Yeah, I would have liked to keep Keegan Murray around. Like, he's been here for 2 years. He's been consistent. But there's, I think, no other way we can get this done unless I include, like, my first rounder. Let's see. Maybe I keep Keegan Murray. Let's see. Man, 4 first-round picks to move up to number 1. But I can also flip Grady Dick eventually. You know what? I think I'm going to do this. I don't mind trading my first-round picks. I just hope that Atlanta pick in 2029 isn't great because the number 1 overall pick is a clear 1.1 point guard. Sheldon Reed, point guard from UCLA, 6'3", Hall of Fame career ceiling, and he's going to be the next, hopefully, great Celtics point guard. And he is an 80 overall already at 20 years old. And yeah, these team contracts get kind of crazy. He's going to be making like $18 million a year as a rookie. So Will Riley's coming back. Chris Sinak's coming back, but I may have to move him. Trent Perry's obviously coming back as well. Carter Knox, Carter Bryant, and City Gay, I will all offer the qualifying offers to. And we're going to take a chance on Jalen Mitchell from the Phoenix Suns. They're probably winning this trade. I just can't afford $18 million for a backup center when our starting center is Jalen Duren, and he's making $40 million a year. So we're going to get Jalen Mitchell, who was the 7th overall pick in the 2028 draft, and I'm going to get a future first-round pick from the Phoenix Suns. So we've made some changes this offseason. We got Grady Dick back on the team. Still have Duren. Will Riley's probably going to start still. Keegan Murray's here. Hawkins, Pritchard, Hardenstein. But I think Sheldon Reed could be the next good point guard for this team, as I need to look at the salary cap table right now and just hope we are good. Oh yeah, we could sign somebody on the mid-level exception, I think. But I guess I should wait to see if I pay Carter Bryant a decent amount of money. So yeah, Kate is going to come back here. Carter Bryant wants a lot of money. Hopefully that price goes down over time. I wouldn't mind getting Baylor Shireman back just on a 2-year deal, a veteran. And with the salary cap going up, players' salaries are going to want to go up. If I can get Carter Knox back on this deal, I'm okay with it. It's going to be a 4-year deal with $37 million. He's 24 years old. I think that's a steal of a deal. And I'm going to hope Carter Bryant doesn't get a max deal, and I'm able to get him on a somewhat team-friendly extension in 3 days. And it's going to be that 5 years, $180 million for Carter Bryant. He was arguably the main piece we got back in, I think that was the Jason Tatum trade. So we're going to sign him here. I think Tatum was a free agent. Did he end up going? No, he left Milwaukee. I guess he didn't like playing with Giannis. Oh my God, he opted out to leave. He really didn't want to play with Giannis. And we're going to get City Gay back on the qualifying offer. So Will Riley is going to be a starter. Him, Carter Bryant, and then, yeah, Sheldon Reed, who's going to start for us. It's a new era. Trent Perry looks good. We re-signed Carter Knox. Isaiah Hartenstein's going to be the backup 5. Maybe it's actually City Gay. And I actually have to release somebody. Oh, man, it may be Keita right now because I don't know who else I'm going to release unless I'm going to trade someone. And I hate to do it, but I think it's going to be Keita. Yeah, this kind of sucks. And this is going to be the rotation: Reed, Riley, Murray, Bryant, and Duran, with Grady Dick coming off the bench, Jordan Hawkins, Trent Perry, Peyton Pritchard, and Sidney Gay. Guys are going to get minutes, I think, over the course of the year, and I would like to play Carter Knox or Marty Barnes. Barnes. Just don't think it's going to happen this year. Just double checking, we're good. Yeah, how are we at negative 84 million? Oh, God, I'm an idiot. All right, well, I'm going to lose my first round pick this year. If I traded it away, then I'm just going to call it a wash, and I don't own it anyway. All right, I don't own it anyway. The Lakers have it. That's fine. But that's on me. I don't know how I ended up getting over $75 million this year. So we start off with a win against the Nuggets. Hopefully, we can figure out what our ceiling is sooner than later. And I'm going to re-up Jordan Hawkins on a 3-year extension over time. I think it's going to be worth it. It's because of the Grady Dick contract that I just don't want on my hands right now, and I'm probably going to move it at one point. All right, not the season we wanted. After going in the right direction, maybe investing a lot into a rookie point guard maybe wasn't the best idea, Matt, as Sheldon Reed has been fine. I don't think has been anything crazy. Will Riley has been very good for us. But Carter Bryant's been good. Will Riley's been good. I don't know. I mean, even if Grady Dick opts into that player option, I should have no issue to move him. I don't know. I think I'm just going to let this team play itself out throughout the rest of the season. As Dylan Harper wins MVP with the Seattle Supersonics, we saw Cooper Flagg win MVP, and now Dylan Harper. Jordan Page is your Rookie of the Year. 17th overall pick out of NC State. LaMelo Ball, 6th man of the year. Is he backing up Tyrese Halliburton? Why? I don't get that. In Indiana, maybe we make a trade. There's Chris Sinak winning Most Improved. He already won that award, I think, from year 1 to year number 2, but he was good last year for the Suns. I don't think anything too crazy. Jordy Fernandez, Coach of the Year with the Orlando Magic. Do we get anybody on an All-NBA team? We do not. As we finish the year as the 4 seed, we are in this division, like we're in the 4-5 matchup every single year. We go 45 and 37. Like, did we even improve from last year? I mean, 5 less wins. Just not really where you want to be. And I think we're going to rely a ton on the young guys, the 24-year-olds, Will Riley and Carter Bryant in these playoffs. Because Sheldon Reed was not great as a rookie. So we're actually going back to Peyton Pritchard as the starting point guard. I'm actually not even going to play Reed in the playoffs, which is going to be a wake-up call to the number 1 overall pick. But it's fine. I still think he's going to be okay long-term. We're going to go 27 minutes to Pritchard, 37 to Bryant and Riley. Let's go 35 to Jalen Duran. Let's go probably like 26 to Jordan Hawkins, and we'll do one more to Keegan Murray. Round number 1 against the Brooklyn Nets. They have a good team. They did just have the Rookie of the Year. They have Trey Johnson, Dylan Mingo, Kanan Catchings, Cody Williams coming off the bench. It's a good team, but we should be able to beat them, and we end up beating them in 5. We're taking on Orlando in the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. We beat them 2 years ago. They beat us last year. Bryant and Riley killing it. Can they advance me to the conference finals? Come on. God, we get swept, man. Just another playoff loss. I thought this too. Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, Riley and Bryant were great. Jordan Hawkins, 39% from the field. Not what you like to see. We, oh my God, lost by 31 points in game 1. We gave up 165. Lost by 4. Lost by 3. Lost by 9. So it was competitive outside of game 1. And Ace Bailey is your conference finals MVP, and VJ Edgecombe, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. The 2025 draft picks getting it done, and the Pelicans winning 7, and Ace Bailey is your finals MVP. So there goes Kyrie, Middleton, Clint Capella, Jakob Poeltl. Bunch of notable names end up retiring. And Atlanta's pick, hey, it could be in the top 10, could be in the top 4, but actually dropped from 10 to 11. The Lakers are picking 1. Pacers are 2, Vipers are 3. Next year, we're going to add an expansion team, and the Lakers own our pick there at pick 22. And Joe Mazzulla's contract is up. That means our next head coach is going to be Jason Kidd. Yeah, he's coaching the Celtics. So we ended up drafting Martin Wall here, a 22-year-old wing out of UCLA, and we got Lance Green here in the 2nd round, the number 1 pick. It's going to be really good. Deion Jeffries, his comparison, if he hits a ceiling, LeBron James. Pretty good comparison. Even Gerard Gordon looks pretty good. Team player options, Grady Dick opts out. All right, it kind of sucks I'm not going to get anything in value for him, but I'm probably going to let him walk. Perry will bring him back. Pritchard, I'm going to hopefully bring back for a cheaper price. Mitchell bring back. Barnes bring back. And Duran is a free agent as well at 26 years old. We're going to give Will Riley and Sidney Gay the qualifying offers. Like, those are going to be expensive contracts. Does Duran want a lot of money? He does. All right, a lot of these guys want a lot of money. So we're going to start off with Peyton Pritchard coming back. I'm not going to be announcing the rights on anybody yet, but it looks like I will be on Grady Dick, which is fine. I would have liked to have traded him, but it's okay. All right, so I'm going to bring back Jalen Duren on basically a 2+1, similar to like Fred VanVleet's contract in real life. It's going to be around $37-38 million a year going forward to be the starting center. Isaiah Hartenstein's coming back 2 years, $10 million. And Will Riley is going to be coming back on a big deal as well, 5 years, $175. And I don't know if this team is up next. Trent Perry looks pretty good, man. He's developing. Same with Sheldon Reed already. We'll see if Riley and Brian are going to be good enough to carry us. And unfortunately, I did have to release my second round pick before the season started. And we're going to add 2 new expansion teams at the end of the year, the San Diego Storm and the Baltimore Barons. So let's figure out what the rotation is going to look like this year. I think I want to see what Trent Perry can do in the starting 5. So I think Hawkins and Murray can get around 20 minutes a night off the bench. Let's go with 33 to Duren. Let's go 34 to Bryant, 34 to Will Riley. Let's do 29 to Perry, 29 to Sheldon Reed. And then City Gay came back on the qualifying offer. So he is going to be the backup center. Peyton Pritchard backup point guard. We're good there. And then the last 12 minutes, I'm going to give probably Carter Knox too, which is a shame because I feel like Mitchell or Barnes should find playing time on this team. We're going to go to balance under Jason Kidd, which is going to be 4 stars. We start off the season home against Seattle, and we lose. I would like for this team to start turning it around. All right, that was an encouraging game number 2 against Brooklyn. All right, so we're finally becoming an elite team. 42-8 at this year's trade deadline. We have an 18.3 point differential. It's nice to see this team kind of finally coming together. We're 3 wins away from reaching our win total from last year. There's a chance we can win 60-plus games with this team this season. Will Riley and Carter Bryant are emerging as a very good 1 and 2 option for this team. Still both incredibly young. Trent Perry, what a first-round pick this has become. He's going to ask for like $30 million in free agency. Sheldon Reed, sophomore jump. He can honestly be most improved to 2K's criteria. Jalen Duren still giving me solid big man minutes. And I like what I'm seeing from Keegan Murray and Jordan Hawkins off the bench. And they're going to be in like more diminished roles because we're going to rely a ton on this team right now. And funny enough, I will not have to give up my first round pick this year because we are negative $73 million right now. So I missed it by just $2 million. As Cameron Boozer of the OKC Thunder gets MVP, the former 2nd overall pick. Deion Jeffries is your rookie of the year. Yeah, he was the clear 1.1 in that draft. Scoot Henderson, 6th man of the year in Toronto. He has spent the last 4 years there. Obviously, former Blazer. Wemby ends up deployed. JQ is your most improved player. The former Sun Devil. Nate Ament is your clutch player of the year. In Vegas, I fixed the whole minutes thing. So, yeah, they're not playing 40 minutes a night. And Jason Kidd gets coach of the year. So, was it a Joe Maz problem? I don't know. Maybe it was. Who knows? You have Ace, Luka, Mobley, Wemby, and Boozer all on All-NBA first team. No Celtics on second team, but we do get Carter Bryant on All-NBA third team. He was really good, and he was the headliner, one of the headliners in the Jason Tatum trade. And we are going to be the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference for the first time, I believe, in this video. 69 wins, by far a video high. Highest, basically, in Celtics. I don't know if it's history, at least since 2008. So I'll definitely take that with this team. We're going up against the Bucks in round number 1. They did have Jason Tatum, but they no longer do. Still have a respectable team, but we should be able to beat them as the 1 seed in the East. We have Will Riley dropping about 20 points per game, 7.5 rebounds. Him and Carter Bryant are going to hopefully be the 1-2 punch that can bring me all the way. I'm going to go with Will Riley. It's a small forward, Trent Perry as the shooting guard. So I think for the playoffs, I mean, Carter Knox really wasn't that great for us this year. I think City Gay obviously is going to be the backup center. Peyton Pritchard can get like 15 minutes a night. Let's go 18 to the bench. 35 to Duren, 38 to Riley and Bryant. Let's go 33 to Perry, and then 35 to Sheldon Reed, who was a lot better this year, as you can see. 87 overall. I mean, I gave up a lot to get that number 1 overall pick. So I'm hoping he develops well. And we are going to gentlemen sweep the Milwaukee Bucks in round number 1 to take on the Wizards in round number 2. Will Riley, 28.5 points, 8 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 1.8 steals. Trent Perry had 2 steals in this game as well. And we are going to advance to take on the Wizards in round 2. We have a small backcourt, good offensively, maybe not defensively. This Paul guy, Osa Rory, pretty good player. He was on an All-NBA team as well. And are we able to beat them and advance to the conference finals? We are 8-1. How about that? Taking on the Orlando Magic here in the conference finals. The team feels like we play them every year in the playoffs. They are the 3 seed. They are very good. Paolo Banchero maybe peaking at a 93 overall. Let's see what happens. And we are able to beat them in 5. And we're on a collision course right now with the OKC Thunder. Will Riley is an absolute stud. The Thunder are 12-4 in the playoffs. We are 12-2. They have an unreal team. Oh my God, that is so good. That is, I don't, man, I don't know. Game 1, we do win, though. Okay, by 11. I'll take it at home. Trent Perry drops 25. Duren with a double-double. Carter Bryant with a double-double. 6 of 17. Needs to be better. Almost had a triple-double on this one. Game 2 goes to the Celtics. We won by 2. Oh, my God. We almost choked that fourth quarter. Shea, 6 of 16 shooting. Is Sheldon Reed clamping him up. Game 3 goes to Boston. We end up winning 138-110. Trent Perry with 28. Will Riley with 25. And here we are, Game 4 of the NBA Finals. This is a really good Thunder team, but I feel like we're starting to maybe build somewhat of a dynasty in Boston. I can't say that. We haven't even won this ring yet. I'm getting way too cocky. Will Riley, 32 points. He's currently a freshman at Illinois, and he's just balling out for the Boston Celtics here. He knocks down that jumper, and we are up by 19 points. Man, this feels good. It does. Sheldon Reed rocking an interesting arm accessory. Oh, that's a tattoo on his left arm as well. Carter Bryant, 13 points in this game. Darren Peterson pulls up. He knocks down that jumper. I mean, this Thunder team is unreal. I'm kind of shocked that we're going to sweep them. This is why I don't get 2K. Like, I don't know if this is one of our best teams. Sheldon Reed, fine Jalen Duren. Does he have a mid-range? He does not. But yeah, like, I'm kind of shocked that we dominated these playoffs. But other years, we struggled to maybe make it out of round number 2. Chet's going to miss that 3. Hit up to Sheldon Reed. He's got 19 and 6. He's a really good three-point shooter as well. Let's see the pick and roll. Carter Bryant maybe with the worst screen of all time. But Reed, it's going to get downhill. I meant to kick that out to Will Riley. They played good. Oh, we got him in the air. Will Riley off balance 2. And he's going to miss it. Darren Peterson for 3. And that is good. All right, 14-point game with 2 minutes left. I'm not nervous at all. Will Riley, can you get around? Oh, no, I didn't want to shoot that. All right. And he hit it. Okay, this guy is just not real. Trent Perry gets a little bit of separation. No good. But we ended up winning 121-105. Will Riley, just an unbelievable playoff run. The efficiency was off the charts. I think he's going to be Finals MVP. And that is not the case. Wow. Carter Bryant gets it. All right. I don't know how I feel about that. In our first ring, oh my God, Will Riley was snubbed. How is he not Finals MVP? I don't get that whatsoever. But okay, Anthony Davis ends up retiring as a 38-year-old in this league. There goes Sabonis, KP, Celtics legend, in a way. Left a lot of money on the table as well, which is kind of shocking. $80 million. I don't know if I would agree with that. And we are going to be adding 2 new expansion teams to the league. So, league realignment here. We're going to add the San Diego Storm to the Pacific. That makes sense. Keep the Northwest. I don't know, Sacramento to the Northwest. I guess we can't really have that many teams in the Pacific. So I think we're going to move Vegas to the Northwest. I feel like I want to keep the Kings in the Pacific. Thunder, stay in the Southwest. We're good there. And then Baltimore Barons, they're going to go to the Atlantic. And then we're going to keep Memphis in the Central. That's fine with me. And we are going to try to keep most of our guys like Marty Barnes. I mean, he's a restricted free agent going forward. Do I want to keep him? I mean, I hope Peyton Pritchard doesn't get drafted because he's been a really good backup point guard for us. So I may actually let Keegan Murray go unkept. He's 30. He's a good player, though, but he's making $20 million, so that would save me a little bit if a team wanted to take him. And I'd rather keep an OG and Peyton Pritchard. So we're going to do that. I'm sure he's going to get drafted. Number 1 overall pick. The San Diego Storm select Hugo Gonzalez. There goes Jalen Green. Jalen Johnson and Keegan Murray was the 4th overall pick. So we'll see if either one of these teams decides to spend in free agency. And I'm actually going to be trading Isaiah Hartenstein in 2 seconds for a late first in this draft and the 16th overall pick. And the Nets take Bob Boeheim out of Illinois State. I don't think he's related to Jim Boeheim, but he looks like he's going to be a very good center in this league. And the 3rd overall pick was very good. Oh, wow. Danny Dunn. All right, Houston. I don't know if I agree letting him slide past you. Desmond Claxton, we did draft out of Rutgers, a 6'2 shooting guard. We got Deion Dunn, a 6'11 center out of Utah State. And Jermaine James Jr., Triple J, the new Triple J, 6'11 power forward out of Portland. Yeah, I'm going to pick up these team options, but that's a lot of money for guys that may potentially not play in Barnes and Mitchell. We'll see what the rotation is looking like. We'll see if Perry gets a max deal, which I don't think I can match because of the $75 million thing. Baylor Shireman, we are going to give him the minimum to come back. This is probably the last time we see Sidney Gay on this team. And we're going to be making this trade with the Portland Trailblazers. We're going to be sending them Jordan Hawkins in exchange for Elliott Falls. It's going to free up about $7 million. I don't know if Falls is going to play for us right away because we're going to have Reed and Pritchard in the backcourt. Barnes will sit, like, it all depends if we get Trent Perry back. But we're going to have plenty of wings that could get some playing time next year. And we are going to renounce the rights on Sidney Gay. So his Celtics career is over, at least for the time being. I don't know. Like, a lot of these guys, oh, wow, Wemby is a supersonic. He just left the Spurs. I don't think teams are going to have a lot of money to throw at Trent Perry. And we are going to actually get Trent Perry back on a good contract for this day and age, 4 years, 107. So we may need to shed some cap. We'll see before the season starts. Any big switch-ups? Devin Booker stays in Sacramento. Terrence Stokes stays in Utah. Koa Pete stays in Philadelphia. And Will Riley is a 95 overall. Carter Bryant's a 90. Sheldon Reed is an 89. Jalen Duren could be his last year here, because that is a lot of money for a center. And we just extended Perry. Like, some of these guys are going to be free agents, but we should see a different rotation this year, which is going to be fun. Now, let me just double check that we're not over the 75 million, or am I going to, I mean, I'm fine forfeiting my first round pick. I think we're going to be good. And we're actually under it. Let's go. Negative 64 million going into this year's season. Next year, we're actually projected to have a little bit of cap if we decline some of these options, which I will not. Sheldon Reed's going to get a nice $5 million increase. Falls, we'll see. 6th overall pick. Jalen Duren making a lot of money, so this could be his last year here. I feel like he's got to be the odd man out. And this is going to be the rotation: Reed, Perry, Riley, Bryant, and Duren. At least Reed and Perry, the backcourt is homegrown. Will Riley, yeah, not homegrown. He was drafted by Vegas. That was a main piece in the Jalen. Like, these two guys were the returns for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and they've accomplished more here in this video than those two guys did. We have Jalen Duren there at the 5. The bench is interesting. It's going to be Jalen Mitchell, who we did trade for a couple years ago. I forget. I think that was the Chris Senek trade. I could be wrong. Marty Barnes here, who we did draft in the 2028 draft. We're going to have Elliot Falls and Peyton Pritchard. So that means, like, Carter Knox not going to make the rotation. Kind of know what he is at this point. And I don't know what his future is going to hold on this team going forward. So guys that are free agents at the end of this year, Marty Barnes. So we'll see how he does with this increase in playing time. Same with Jalen Mitchell. Pritchard, hopefully we can get back close to the minimum, and Baylor Shireman. And we are 44-6 at the trade deadline. So the 1-2 punch, not losing a step. We have a 26 point. Okay, that's going to eventually regress to the mean, because, like, that is insane. No way that's sustainable. But I'll take that in the Eastern Conference. We are killing it behind Will Riley, Carter Bryant, Sheldon Reed, turning into one of the best point guards in the league. 50, 40, 90 splits as well. Trent Perry, 50, 40, 90 splits. Marty Barnes, oh my God, this guy's going to want big money in free agency. There's Jalen Duren. Jalen Mitchell, not too bad off the bench. And Cameron Boozer goes back-to-back with MVPs. Mac Hall is your rookie of the year. So there were 2 really good rookies at the top of that draft, and neither one of them got it. Tyrese Halliburton, 6th man of the year here. He's now, on the Atlanta Hawks. Wemby is your depoy. Howard Warren, most improved over in Baltimore. Do they have the glitch with him? 33 minutes a night. No, I think we're good. Baba is your most or clutch player of the year. Him and Wemby running the show. Oh my God, we went 75-7. How did we go 75-7? Does Jason Kidd make that much of a difference in this game than Joe Mazzulla? Because I guess so. Yeah, I'll take it. We are the 1 seed, obviously, in the Eastern Conference. We're taking on the Milwaukee Bucks in round 1. I mean, what was our point differential? It did not regress. It did not even out. It was sustainable, I guess. A 26.5 point differential is just utter insanity. Will Riley is an absolute beast. So here we go for the playoffs. Let's see what we're going to rock with. I think we may, I need a backup center, so I think Dion Dunn's going to be in there. Elliot Falls is pretty good, but he's a rookie, so he's not going to play for us in the playoffs. We're going to go 12 to Dunn, 12 to Pritchard. I think Mitchell, who was good this year, about 17 minutes a night. We'll go 22 to Barnes, 33 to Duren, 36 to Bryant. Let's go 40 to Will Riley, 35 to Reed, 33 to Perry. Let's see what happens here. Round number 1, we beat Giannis and the Bucks last year. We should beat them this year. Let's see, though. And, okay, they won game 1. That's scary because we just won 75 games. But we do beat them. Will Riley was terrible. What? All right, I'm nervous. We're taking on the Raptors, who had the rookie of the year. They have a very good team. They still have Jacoby Walter. Let's see what happens. All right, we sweep them. We're 8-1 in the playoffs. We're taking on the 6-seeded Wizards. Maybe we're not going to have, like, the toughest path to the NBA Finals. Let's see. Can we beat the Wizards? We just swept them. And we're taking on the OKC Thunder. Can we get revenge? Or, dude, can they get revenge? But we're trying to beat them 2 years in a row. Game 1 goes to us. We just held them to 17 in the 4th quarter. All right. Game number 2 goes to the Thunder. Oh, wow. They held us to 86 points. That's a little scary. Game 3 goes to the Celtics. Game 4 goes to the Celtics. And we just went back-to-back finals. Will Riley is your finals MVP. Something maybe he was snubbed of last year. But now he has one. Carter Bryant has one. And we're going to see a lot of notable retirements. Isaiah Hartenstein, Celtics legend Derek White, Celtics legend Robert Williams, Celtics legend all retiring. Embiid enters the Hall of Fame. Cat gets his jersey retired by the Timberwolves, Embiid by the Sixers. We are able to keep our first round pick, even though it doesn't even matter this year because we have to give it to the LA Lakers. Pistons 1, Knicks 2, Heat 3 here in the 2032 draft lottery. And I'm going to make this trade with the Vegas Vipers. I'm going to give them Carter Knox and a second round pick. We're getting Frankie Jenkins, who was a recent second round pick. And I'm also getting a lottery protected first round pick down the line. So we didn't have any draft picks here. We could see that the number 1 pick was Corey Dennessy and Coach McKinney. 2 centers go with the first 2 picks in this draft. Reed, Duran, Elliott Falls, and Martin Wall. Do I want to pick up Wall's team option? I guess I will, but that could be something we move. We'll see. Qualifying offers, yeah, Mitchell and Barnes. Wait, did I picked up Duran's team option? That's fine with me now. That's fine with me now. Do I want to trade him is going to be a question. Peyton Pritchard, I got to bring back. 1-year deal. Oh, man, we're probably going to be over, I think, a decent amount if we want to bring these guys back. They want a ton of money. They're not going to get that much money, I think. And they're probably just going to come back on the qualifying offers because that is just too much money. I can't even, afford to do those long term. So it's going to be decent qualifying offers. $14.5 million for Mitchell, $10 million for Barnes. Actually, not as much. And yeah, Will Riley, Sheldon Reed is up to a 92, and he's, I think, a free agent at the end of this year. And I'm going to have to give him a max contract. So this is definitely going to be Jalen Duran's last year here. And we're at negative $58 million right now. So we're good to keep our first round pick going into next year's season. I have no idea who the next center is going to be. It could be Dion, who was the rookie center last year. Who was the backup? Was he a first? No, or Dion Dunn. Yeah, maybe he ends up just being the starter next year. We'll see. So we're going to try to three-peat here. It's probably the last dance with some of this core. I may need to trade Trent Perry if I want to bring back Reed or trades. I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out. It's going to get kind of crazy. So Mitchell is going to get 20 minutes. We're going to go 23 to Barnes. I wouldn't mind a 10-man rotation. Not Frankie. Frankie Jenkins, no. I mean, James was a former first round. Desmond Claxton, former first round pick. We're going to go 10 minutes to Dunn. This is fine with the bench unit right now. I want to see what we can get out of Dunn. So Duran may not play as much as he had in the past. Bryant 32, Riley 32. Perry's going to get 30. Let's go 35 to Riley. So that's fine with me this year. We'll see how this rocks. We are 5-star balanced under Jason Kidd. In another year where Cameron Boozer wins MVP for the OKC Thunder, probably the best player in the NBA right now. Coach McKinney is your rookie of the year. Sixth man of the year goes to Tyrese Halliburton. Wemby is your D-point in Seattle. And we got coach of the year again, 72-10 for Jason Kidd. And we are the 1 seed. Once again, here in the Eastern Conference, we're going to be taking on the 8-seeded Pacers. Were any of these expansion teams good? Baltimore was, oh my God. The Miami Heat were 7-75 this year. I think Pate's got a sick afro. How were you that bad? Oh my God, their bench must not be that good. All right, that is insane. 7-75. Vegas is 39-43. Sacramento's 42-40. And the San Diego Storm, 45-37. Will Riley led the way. I was hoping Sheldon Reed could average more assists than last year, but he didn't. But he's up to a 94 overall. He has been insane. So yeah, they don't have Tyrese Halliburton anymore. They have Dyson Daniels, Savannah Mirovicic. They have LaMelo Ball actually. Miles Turner. Yeah, I think LaMelo actually won a 6th man of the year coming off the bench behind Halliburton, and we ended up winning in 5. Taking on Philadelphia in round number 2. I feel like they beat us back in year number 1. Wow, shout out to Marty Barnes. This guy's an actual stud as a scorer. He's really good. But I think Philadelphia beat us early. We end up sweeping them. Taking on Milwaukee, who we've owned in the playoffs the last few years. They've added some help. This Paul guy, really good player next to Giannis, who's getting up there in age. But we are about to go to our 3rd straight NBA Finals. It is our last dance with some of this core, and we're taking on the Phoenix Suns. The Thunder actually lost in round 2. Suns have Boogie Fland, Dash Daniels, Trevor Ariza's son, Ethan Almanza, Cale Wilson. It's cool to actually know all those guys. Sandin as well. Let's see if we're able to beat Phoenix and win the NBA Finals. And we win in 6. Boston is now 3-peated in the last 3 years, which feels pretty good because to start things off, we were very disappointing, and Will Riley has saved this franchise. And there goes Giannis. He said, I'm never beating Boston, so he ends up retiring. He's definitely going to be making it to the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's going to be the only guy, and he is. He gets his jersey retired by the Bucks. So we had the 31st and 34th picks. We took Harold Hunter. We took Wally Wade. Some alliteration with both those picks, and Dwight Cooper there in the 2nd round. We're picking up the team option on Elliott Falls. We'll pick it up on Martin Wall. I think I'm going to let Desmond Claxton walk. Jermaine James, I'm going to pick it up on. And Dion Dunn, I'm going to pick it up on. So yeah, not a great first round pick by me there. Also, I guess it's on my player development skills for there. Sheldon Reed, $30 million qualifying offer. That's just an insane amount of money. Jalen Duren wants $36 million. Peyton Pritchard, let's get you back on the minimum. Baylor Shireman back on the minimum as well. Like Mitchell and Barnes want a ton of money. I wouldn't mind paying Barnes. That's a decent amount of money because I'm gonna have to pay Reed. So if I gave Barnes like that, like that's gonna be one of the best deals he gets on the market. So I think we're gonna hold off a little bit on it. Sheldon Reed, yeah, we're gonna probably have to sign him soon, and he gets a deal from the Bucks. 4 years, 183. So he's about to make a ton of money in this league. I don't want to renounce the rights on Jalen Duren just yet. And I'm actually going to make this trade with the New York Knicks. Keljin McKinney, who is a former #2 overall pick. We're going to be trading for him. I'm giving them Elliot Falls, who's probably going to win Most Improved next year in New York. I'm already ready for that. And I'm going to give them Martin Wall. We're going to take on Jabari Walker's contract. So that means Jalen Duren is done. We're going to go with McKinney, the younger option. The Blazers have given him 1 year, $6 million. They'll probably get him on that, I guess, at this point. So let's renounce the rights on him. All right, so unfortunately, I think we're going to have to let Jalen Mitchell walk. It's just going to put me over negative $75 million. I don't know if I really want to do that for him going forward. And I know these first round picks are probably going to be like 34 in the draft. But we're going to bring back Marty Barnes, 3 years, 85. We're going to say goodbye to Jenkins, Claxton, and Jalen Mitchell. So yeah, I guess not Jenkins, he's back on the QO. So this team is going to look slightly different next year, but we do have a very fun big three. Carter Bryant entering the last year of his deal. Like, no, this is still like an absolute elite team. And we're at negative $49 million. So maybe I actually would have been able to bring back, I don't know, Mitchell wanted like 35 mil, so it would have put me right there. So it's going to be Reed, Perry, Riley, Bryant, and McKinney in the starting five. That's still really good with Marty Barnes as the sixth man, and we're trying out some new guys off the bench in Frankie Jenkins and Jermaine James Jr. Deion Dunn is still going to be the backup center, and we are 4.5 star balance as we are trying to win our 4th straight title, but we lost our first game against the Warriors. Okay. All right. Something to keep an eye on this season. I don't know. I feel like we should still be able to be back in the things of competing for another title this year. But you never really know with this team and like the way 2K is going to have the Celtics go. Like Carter Bryant wants a lot of money. I think he's going to hit free agency. Trent Perry wants a lot of money too, but he's got 2 years left on his deal. Same with Will Riley. Like these contracts are going to start to hit like $70 billion a year. So VJ Edgecombe wins MVP, the former Baylor Bear. I just watched that Baylor St. John's game. Oh my God. And like, it was an insane game. I had money on St. John's, not a lot. I was just having fun with it. But watching that game made me just appreciate the NBA for a little bit more than college basketball. They can't hit their free throws. That game should have been over like 9 different times. I don't know if any of you guys watched it. It was cool though, because it was in the Bahamas and they're playing like a small gym, and VJ Edgecombe's nationality is the Bahamas, so it was cool to see him. I don't think he played too well, but it was a fun game nonetheless. That just made me remember that as we finish as the 1 seed in the East. I don't know if this is going to be like the last year of like Carter Bryant on the team, but we do have a lot of money coming off the books eventually. I guess it's more like Bryant, Walker, Jenkins, and we got to feel like, is Marty Barnes? I feel like I should pick between him and Trent Perry, but for their contracts in like this day and age, they're pretty valuable. So we're taking on the Washington Wizards in round 1. They still have Bub Carrington. They have how old Trey Murphy? 33-year-old Murphy. Did we have him at one point? We did not. Willie Thomas, Jeremy Shohan, Jeremy Jenkins. They have Alex Sarr coming off the bench. I mean, as a 1 seed, I'd like to think that we're going to beat them, and we end up winning in 5. We did have Jason Kidd win Coach of the Year as well. Will Riley, 26 points. Carter Bryant, 23. Trent Perry, 21. And Sheldon Reed, 14 points and 7 assists. Here we are taking on the Chicago Bulls in round number 2. And we are back in the conference finals to take on the Milwaukee Bucks, as in round number 2. Will Riley was our top guy. As we are looking for our 4th straight championship, can we go to the finals and beat the Bucks? Yes, we can. We sweep them, and we're going to be taking on Cameron Boozer. So there is Sheldon Reed, man. Balling out. Only 6 assists per game, but he had a great conference finals. He's 25 years old. He's a 95 overall. I'm really good. I traded up for him. And you have the Celtics and the Thunder in the finals. And the Celtics win in 7. Will Riley is your finals MVP. 28 points, 9 rebounds, 3.7 assists. And we have now 4-peated. So after getting off to a really rough start, we are finally hitting our stride. I already blew up this team, trading away the Jays. And we've now rattled off 4 straight NBA finals. It's just, I think there's like a tax on this. Like, just 2K doesn't like the Celtics. I've said that multiple times in this video. Jaylen Brown, Brandon Ingram both retire. So Brown, Celtics legend, couple 2016 draft guys, DeJounte Murray as well. And I completely missed it, but yeah, Jason Tatum retired with the Philadelphia 76ers. He spent 1 year in Milwaukee, then spent 4 in LA, and then 1 in Philadelphia. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown joined Nikola Jokic as Hall of Fame inductees, and we retired both of the Jays numbers. So an end of an era. So we had 2 first-round picks. We took Damian White at 31. We took J.R. Hunter at 34. Reminds me of R.J. Hunter, just reverse J.R., who they took in the first round, I believe, out of Georgia State. You have Gary James Jr. Okay, didn't we have Jermaine James Jr.? Because it was Triple J. his younger brother. I don't think it'd be his son at this point, but he looks really good going to the Detroit Pistons. We're gonna, oh yeah, Jermaine James Jr. on our team. Deion Dunn we're gonna bring back, and Killian McKinney we are gonna bring back as well. So we are here in free agency. How much is Carter Bryant looking for right now? Carter Bryant is looking for, he's 28 years old, $58 million. I mean, do we need him? Not really. Like, we have a really good team outside of him, but like guys are gonna eventually want a lot of money. I would be open to like a shorter term deal, not like a 5-year deal. Oh wow, and Jabari Walker just got 3 years, $17 million from the Bucks. Okay, well, we're gonna let him walk. I'm gonna offer Carter Bryant 2 years, over $100 million. It puts us at about negative $56 million in cap space. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get Frankie Jenkins back. I believe he's gonna accept that offer. He hasn't really gotten anything better out there, so he will. Definitely could be tradable at one point. And we're here on the last day of free agency. Like, do I want to bring back Frankie Jenkins? I don't think I can get him back to be under $75 million. Like, he's not going to accept that. I could make a trade. You know what, though? I think I'm going to just say screw it. I'm going to forfeit my first round pick next year. I'm going to give him a 2-year deal. Hopefully, I can get him back at a solid price. Can we do a 3-year deal? Hopefully he does progress. We'll see if we could buy low on him. Buy low is now $7 million in this league. I'm forfeiting my first round pick next year to get him, and I think we could try to win our 5th straight NBA final. And it's going to be the Reed, Perry, Riley, Bryant, McKinney starting 5 with Barnes, Jenkins, Dunn, and Jermaine James Jr. So just double checking. I'm pretty sure I do have to forfeit my first round pick this year since I'm $5 million over the $75 million threshold that I said. McKinney is a free agent. Okay, not next year, which is good. He's got 2 more years that we can get him to be our center. We'll see how much that extension looks like. Will Riley and Trent Perry are both free agents at the end of the year. I'm sure they're both going to want a ridiculous amount of money. That is the case. All right, there's no way around it. I'm going to give Will Riley a 4-year extension. I don't want to risk him leaving in free agency. He has been our best player. He's 29 years old. This contract will get him till he's 34. So yeah, Gary James Jr. ends up Rookie of the Year. Cameron Boozer is your MVP. Isaiah Harwell is your 6th Man of the Year. He's been on a bunch of teams as well. Wemby wins Depoy in Seattle. Marshall Pollard, your most improved in Vegas. Oh my God, we went 74-8 with this team. Okay, I guess we're trying to go for, yeah, another ring here, as this is going to try to be ring number 5. Let's see who our leading scorer was. It was Will Riley, to no surprise. Sheldon Reed, 43% from the field, 35% from 3. I'm going to need you to be a little bit better, Sheldon. Like, can we get to that Marty Barnes efficiency? That dude is just a stud. Trent Perry as well. Like, I don't know if I can let those guys walk ever. They just don't miss. So we are the 1 seed taking on the Washington Wizards in the playoffs. We're taking on Halliburton, Malik Thomas, Tariq Whitehead, Alex Sarr, and they have the 6th Man of the Year. That's a good 8 seed, honestly, but we are going to beat them in 4. Now we're taking on the Chicago Bulls. Dooney Johnson, what a name. William McNeely, Caleb Holt, AJ Thompson. All right, we should be able to beat them here in round number 2, and we do. We end up winning in 6. We're taking on the 2-seeded Charlotte Hornets here in the conference finals. We're just trying to get another ring here as we are trying to build ourselves as a dynasty. We sweep them. We're going up against Jeremiah Prophet, the 13th overall pick in the 2028 draft. Kind of a sick name, not going to lie. Will Riley puts up Will Riley numbers. He's like the next Jason Tatum for us. Paul Pierce to Jason Tatum to Will Riley. And can we beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in the NBA Finals? Wow, we do. We continue our final streak. Ring number 5 in a row. We win in 7. Will Riley is your finals MVP. So we do see Bam Adebayo, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, couple current Cavs retired. Jalen Brunson, technically a current Cav in this. Lou Dort, Wendell Carter Jr., Sadiq Bey. A lot of notable names retiring there. Taylor Jenkins retires as the Blazers head coach. There goes Donovan Mitchell, Brunson, Bam, and Donovan Mitchell all get their jerseys retired. So unfortunately, we didn't get our first round pick this year because I did go over the cap, but hey, it ended up getting me another ring, so I don't really care. McKinney, welcome back. Harold Hunter, Wally Wade, Raymond Shepard, I'm going to let walk. We may just need to get, I don't even know, the minimums may be more than that. I doubt I'm going to bring back Jermaine James because he was so bad for us. Deion Dunn as the backup center. I might get to be a little bit cheaper than $11 million a year. So Trent Perry's a free agent and he wants $66 million. That brings me 114 over the cap. I mean, if I bring back Perry, I think I have to move Carter Bryant. All right, so I'm going to try to send Carter Bryant to Sacramento. I don't really want James Hawkins here, but I take Donovan Braun. Can they? Of course, they can't afford that. Well, they only have a couple guys under contract in Cooper Flagg and Devin Booker. So they'd be forming a big 3 with Flagg, I guess Booker 38 and Carter Bryant. I guess I'll take on James Hawkins, sure. I would like more than that. Like, could I get 2 first-round picks? I feel like I'm giving you a stud. Would they do this? Okay, so we got 2 future first-round picks. That means Dunn coming back could either be a power forward or we could trade him. Like, I'm not giving you $53 million a year. Are you out of your mind? You hate to see it, but Trent Perry got 4 years, $242 million by the Golden State Warriors. Go be the best player in the league, Trent Perry. I think you can do it. So that means we're going to have Marty Barnes start for us at the 2. I mean, we're going to have a really good replacement for him. We're going to still have Will Riley. We're going to figure out who's going to be the power forward. I mean, theoretically, we could just make Kelvin McKinney the power forward because he does have an A 3-point grade. He shot 38% from 3 last year. So you know what? Let's do that. His overall doesn't change. And we're probably just going to get Dunn and Jermaine James back on the qualifying offers. And that is going to be the case. There we go, right? Let's just get both of these guys. After day 12, there's Dunn, there's Jermaine James. Here's player progression. We still have, like, Sheldon Reed, who's now at 97. Will Riley as our top guy. Dunn is up to an 85. Like, him and McKinney as a front court is going to be interesting. We'll see how Marty Barnes looks as the starter. But then we're going to have a little bit of a new bench. Like, Frankie Jenkins is now in the Barnes role as the 6th man. Jermaine James Jr. has to be better this year than he was last year. We have Harold Hunter, who we drafted 31st pick in 2033. Braun, who we got in that Carter Bryant trade. So it's going to be Reed, Barnes, Riley, McKinney, and Dunn with Jenkins, James Jr., Harold Hunter, and Donovan Braun off the bench. We are still 5-star balanced under Jason Kidd. So Cameron Boozer ends up winning MVP again. I gotta double check if he's won a title as Dion Dunn. All right, pretty good player as our starting center. He ends up getting most improved. Maybe I should try to find a way on re-signing him. So Golden State, they are the 4th seed. Oh my God, don't tell me Trent Perry's coming off the bench. Wait, did you guys trade Trent Perry? Oh my God. Oh, no. They do have him as their starting small forward. He averaged 20 points. He was still really good for them. I'm glad he did average a career high. As Will Riley was our leading scorer, followed by Sheldon Reed. Hey, Frankie Jenkins. Oh my God, really good season from him. Does not miss any free throws. Marty Barnes was still really good for us. Thought he would have a little bit better numbers. Kelvin McKinney's about to make so much money from us this offseason. Him and Barnes are both free agents. But I feel like I'm going to want to bring all those guys back. Let's just see if we can go on a little bit of a run here. Once again, to win our, 6th title, and we are in the finals. We just went 12-1. Marty Barnes is your conference finals MVP. I keep wanting to think Marty Bird, right? That's from Ozark. I'm like in my head whenever I say his name. But we are going for what? Ring number 6 in a row? Can we do it? Will Riley's won the last 4. Yeah, I guess Cam Boozer probably has a couple of finals. I think he may have 1 or 2 rings to his name. And we sweep Minnesota. All right, Kelvin McKinney is your finals MVP. So I have to re-sign him this offseason. Damn. All right, so this team just does not stop winning. Luka, Shea, Booker, and Fox all head to the Hall of Fame. That's a pretty loaded class right there. Let's see who's going to be here in the draft lottery. I think we're able to keep our 1st round pick in this draft. I have to double check. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm able to keep it, sadly. And Vlad Jeremic there with the number 1 overall pick out of Serbia. Hey, maybe the next Nikola Jokic in this league. Oh, Marty Barnes had a team option for 25 mil. Thank God I did that like 5 years ago. That is huge. We're going to bring back Harold Hunter. I mean, J.R. Hunter, I may not have a choice. Wally Wade, I don't know. Oh, from Temple, I have to. Okay. I mean, probably not the right decision, but we'll bring him back. And then, yeah, Kelvin McKinney, we're going to give a lot of money to. Donovan Braun could be our starting center if I'm not able to bring back Dion Dunn, double D next year. Jermaine James, honestly, was pretty good. If I could front load this, let's do a 4th year. This could actually be a very good contract for us. And we're going to bring back Kelvin McKinney, 5 years, $202 million for the power forward. So we do have Donovan Braun that's still a free agent. Hopefully we can get him back for cheap. But Dion Dunn, $55 million. Yeah, that's going to put me at negative $92 million. I don't really know if that's worth it. Sheldon Reed's going to get a new contract at the end of the year. I mean, maybe I bring back Dunn on a 2-year deal and I could trade him for like the number 1 overall pick next offseason just to reset that center contracts for us. So yeah, he's going to cost me my 1st round pick, but we're going to give him a 2-year, $85 million contract. Maybe similar to what I did with Carter Bryant, 2-year deal. We try to get a ring next year and then we end up trading him next offseason. We're going to get Donovan Braun back on the qualifying offer, which is going to be at $11.6 million. So Sheldon Reed, starting to regress, interesting. Will Riley is 96 years old. McKinney's up to an 89. Dion Dunn's an 89 as well. All right, so this is going to be the team, same starting 5 as last year. Jenkins at the 6th man, and then Hunter, James, and Brown finishing off the bench, or could be Braun. We're 5-star balance under Jason Kidd. Let's try to win our 7th title in a row. So this Paul guy ends up winning MVP from Canada, the 2nd overall pick in 2028. Vlad Jeremic is your rookie of the year for the LA Clippers. Jeremiah Prophet, 6th man of the year. Wemby winning Deep Boy still. He's only 33, so Wemby does have some more time left. And we went 71-11. We do have about, I think, like around 7 years left of this, and we are not slowing down whatsoever. Like, we get Coach of the Year, 70 wins, 1 seed, 21.5 point differential. We are running the table right now. We are going to have some notable free agents, like Sheldon Reed's a free agent. Frankie Jenkins is a free agent. Marty Barnes is a free agent. Marty Barnes. So we'll have some decisions to make in the offseason. I mean, Deion Dunn's making $40 million a year. That could end up changing. All right, so we're taking on the Detroit Pistons in round number 1. They have this Adam guy from the 2027 draft, and they've developed him. Well, I guess Toronto ended up doing most of the dirty work there. They've Drake Powell, Bilal Coulibaly, Alonzo Blount, maybe the son of LeGarrette Blount, Gary James Jr., yeah, that number 1 overall pick. Year 3 is a 94 overall already, so they could pull off the upset on us, but we are going to end up gentlemen sweeping them. We ended up winning in 5. We're taking on the, I think it was the Milwaukee Bucks in round number 2. Man, I didn't realize Frankie Jenkins, shooting guard, he is 6'1". Sheldon Reed at 24 points and 6 assists. Taking on Milwaukee in round number 2. I feel like we have owned them in this video, but they do have the MVP. Native men. This is a good team. Asor Thompson off the bench. I don't know why they're starting Usman Garuba over Anton Kozlov. Well, he's a point guard, so that would actually make sense. But wow, they don't really have another big man. They couldn't make a trade. McKinney and Dunn should eat them alive, and we ended up sweeping them. So we've just been dominating the Eastern Conference over the last few years. Like, we have created a dynasty with this team, I mean, obviously. So let's see if we can beat the Orlando Magic and advance to the NBA Finals. We beat them in 5. So, Kelvin McKinney is your conference finals MVP. I'm glad I paid him. Now, I think we could be in line for, this is going to be our 7th ring potentially, and the 3rd in a row against Minnesota. We beat them in 7 2 years ago. We swept them last year. Are they going to beat us this time around? They still have Anthony Edwards. He's 35. They still have Rob Dillingham. He is 32. Let's see what happens here, and we are going to win at 5. I kind of feel bad at this point. Keldrin McKinney is your finals MVP, so we get a different finals MVP now. Tyrese Halliburton ends up retiring. Jalen Green, Cam Thomas, Şengün, John Morant. It'll be interesting to see who makes it to the Hall of Fame. Like, Malone retires. Halliburton makes it to the Hall of Fame. So I can't sign Wesley Baldwin since he was my first round pick. But Pete Dunne, we are going to sign, who was a different first round pick that we had, I think, in the Carter Bryant trade. So the 21st pick, not great. And we're going to sign Jim Forbes as well. Number 1 overall pick was Will Ingram going to the Baltimore Barons there with the number 1 pick. I actually think I got to implement some expansion teams. That'll happen next year. Damian White will bring back. Jared Hunter will bring back. We can also move these guys if we need to. We are going to have some notable free agents. Harold Hunter, Wally Wade, and Donovan Braun can all get the qualifying offers. But yeah, we are going to have Sheldon Reed as a free agent. We're going to have Marty Barnes, Frankie Jenkins. Man, Sheldon Reed actually is getting $60 million from the Miami Heat. Oh, man. I think I'm going to give him this. It's going to be 5 years, $291 million, but I kind of have to. He's been that good for us. So I'm going to make this trade with the Pelicans. We're going to be giving them Deion Dunn. I just can't really afford him at this point anymore. We're going to get Vin Floyd, who was the 22nd pick in the 34 draft. And we're also going to get Derek Lively, who is 33 years old. And then I may eventually flip Lively throughout this season. Jermaine James, not living up to that contract. I'm kind of getting like Carter Knox vibes from him. We're also going to sign Marty Barnes, I keep doing that. 5-year, 198. And then Frankie Jenkins, 4 years, 101. So after that, if we take a look here at our salary cap breakdown, we're at $119 million over the cap, which is kind of, it's just insane. I don't know who would end up getting moved throughout this. I mean, we're going to free $39 million once Lively's a free agent at the end of the year. And then hopefully Vin Floyd could be a good rotational piece for us. Because if I didn't trade away Dunn, I wasn't going to be able to bring back Barnes and Jenkins. And I kind of like those guys on the perimeter. Harold Hunter wants $39 million. Why? And hopefully we're able to get most of these guys back on the qualifying offers. We get Conley, we get Donovan Braun, we get Harold Hunter. All right, I'll take it. So here's the team. We're going for what? Ring number 8 in a row? I mean, it's possible. I think McKinney's going to be back to the 5 and Vin Floyd is going to be the 4. Or we do Lively at the 5, which could also be something. And Cameron Boozer just wins another MVP. Maybe I'm going to stop doing the 2026 draft classes so we have different MVPs this time around. Or it would just end up being Wemby every year as we just went 74-8. How are we still this good? I mean, this could be Sheldon Reed and Will Riley. Are they just winners right now? Because Will Riley's still dropping 22 a night on 50, 40, 90 split. Sheldon Reed is still really good for us. 39 from 3, 97 from the line. Harold Hunter, pretty good as well. 39% from 3. He was playing a little bit more this year. Marty Barnes, good. I feel like he didn't take that Trent Perry step, so he could be on the trade block at one point maybe. As Trent Perry, I want to see what he's doing in Golden State. All right, his numbers are dipping a little bit. He is 29. We're taking on the Miami Heat in round number 1. I feel like I haven't really played them a ton. Chris Sinak, former Celtic, former Celtic back in 2029. We got him in one of the big trades. It might have been the Jaylen Brown trade if I'm remembering that. And we beat them in 4. We're taking on another Florida team, and we beat them in 6. All right, Philadelphia, Dylan Harper and Scoot Henderson in the backcourt. Noah Clowney at the 5. Are they able to beat us and advance to the NBA Finals? Nope. So we are going up against Trent Perry and the Golden State Warriors, looking for, I believe, our 8th ring in a row. Yep, we are going for 8 straight titles. All right, is this like a Bill Russell challenge in this? And we end up sweeping Golden State. Kelvin McKinney is your finals MVP. Yeah, like McKinney, Reed, and Riley are just an unreal big three together. There goes Zion Williamson, Trey Mann, Brandon Miller, Ryan Dunn. Let's see. Trey Mann's got to go to the Hall of Fame, right? As Luke Walton retires, there goes Joe Maz. So we kind of like traded head coaches. We took Jason Kidd. They took Joe Maz. It's been working out a lot better for us with Jason Kidd, and I meant to add 2 expansion teams, which I will be doing next year when I remember this time around. We do not own our first round pick for like the 5th straight year because I've been a tax team. All right, so the Atlanta Hawks have the #1 overall pick, and there's this really good shooting guard, I believe by the name of Lionel Cooper, and I want him. And I think I'm willing to trade Marty Barnes to get him for the #1 overall pick. They're going to say no, but they'll counter offer it. I'm fine throwing in a 2040 first, and I get Rex Carl here in this draft. So yeah, we are going to take Lionel Cooper here with the #1 overall pick in the draft. The ceiling is Michael Jordan. The floor is Sam Jones, which is pretty good. The 6'5" shooting guard out of Duke. It's cool that it's out of Duke. Sometimes it's just these random colleges that are producing these #1 overall picks. And yeah, he's going to be the shooting guard of the future. We can't sign Dennis Sharp because we did lose our draft pick this year. Jim Forbes, I'll bring back, sure. And that's going to save some money for us down the line as well, which is huge. I want to bring back Vin Floyd, who's already up to an 86 overall. Let me guess, he wants a lot of money, 36 million. Hopefully we're going to get him back on a cheaper price. Joel Bethea is looking for $80 million. Same with Dylan Harper right now. I'm going to offer Derek Lively and Donovan Braun a contract. Actually, I may not bring back Derek Lively. 2 years, 29. I think I'd rather just have Braun, who's 6 years younger. So we are going to renounce the rights on Lively. Like Harold Hunter is unrestricted and wants 40 million. I think I'm going to get priced out on that. So looking at our rotation next year, Sheldon Reed, we have Pete Dunn, who was the 21st overall pick. We got that from the Carter Bryant trade. Frankie Jenkins at the 2, Lionel Cooper for now, but Lionel Cooper may start, and we have Jenkins come off the bench. Of course, Will Riley at the 3. We have McKinney and James at the 4. We're fine right now. I think I'm going to let go of Harold Hunter, yeah. And then we're just probably going to look to bring back Vin Floyd. All right, so I'm going to bring back Vin Floyd, 4 years, $114 million, and Damian White takes the qualifying offer. Okay, so here we are, play progression. Will Riley, last year of his contract. He's going to be 33. Am I going to want to give him a $60 million deal? I don't know. But he's got a lot of finals MVPs. He's maybe on the GOAT path at this point. And here at the end of the season, Baba wins MVP, the #1 overall pick back in 2028. Damon Morrison is your Rookie of the Year. Deion Dunn, 6th Man of the Year, former long-time Boston Celtic, I think for around 6 years. Wemby still winning depoys at the age of 35. The Supersonics took home a bunch of awards this year. Joffrey Samuels as well, most improved. He is a point guard over there. Gabe Neesmith, maybe the son of Aaron Neesmith, Clutch Player of the Year. And Jason Kidd takes home another Coach of the Year award. As we are just still rolling with this team, I don't know if this is going to be the year where everything collapses. I don't think it is. Like, we're another 1 seed. I mean, Will Riley's going to be a free agent, so something to keep an eye on at the end of this season. We finished with a 15.6 point differential, top in the Eastern Conference, top in the NBA by far. I don't see how we don't win another title here in Boston, as Will Riley was the leading scorer, followed by Sheldon Reed, Frankie Jenkins, Kelvin McKinney, and Donovan Braun. Shout out to him. So are we just going to go all the way and dominate this Eastern Conference? We beat the Pistons in 5, we sweep Charlotte, and we beat the Bulls in 5 as well, as Kelvin McKinney was your conference finals MVP. We look here, Will Riley has been the #1 scorer in the playoff. And right now, just to refresh, we are going for what? Title number 9 in a row. That's kind of insane. Well, the Pelicans beat us. They got Gabe Rose, Ace Bailey, AJ DeBanza, Celso Covington, Malachi Moreno. It's a fine team. I mean, DeBanza and Bailey could definitely beat us, but we ended up going 16-3 in these playoffs. Kelvin McKinney, man, an absolute stud. 7.5 assists for the big man here throughout the playoffs, as we're going to see Cade Cunningham, LaMelo Ball, Jabari Smith Jr., Paolo Banchero, a couple former #1 overall picks in there, and Cade and Paolo end up retiring. There goes Scotty Barnes. I think I saw Bronny James also retire as well. We're going to see LaMelo, Paolo, and Cade Cunningham all head to the Hall of Fame. Once again, every time I just kind of do this in different settings to sit down and record, I always forget to add an expansion team. I'm so sorry. And we're going to add Clifton Tucker here to the mix. We weren't able to sign our first round pick from the us going over the salary cap, as Garrison Carlson goes #1 overall to the San Diego Storm. Looks like a really good player. Pete Dunn, Rex Carl. I think I'm going to let some of these guys walk. And let's see what free agency is going to look like. A lot can change. Damian White, we're going to give the qualifying offer to. Wemby is a free agent. Is he going to leave Seattle? Will Riley just got offered 4 years, $303 million by the Seattle Supersonics. I know he's a franchise legend. Oh, man. Like, he has won so many titles. 9-time NBA champion, 10-time All-Star, 4-time Finals MVP. We didn't draft Will Riley, correct? Yeah, he was drafted by Vegas in the Jason Tatum trade. Oh my God, that is so much money. I feel like I have to. I feel like I do. I'm going to offer Will Riley 5 years. That is just so much money. And he doesn't accept it? Oh my God, I offered him 5 years, 408, and he's actually going to sign with the Seattle Supersonics. All right, it's not a guarantee that he's going to leave. Like, he could make it back here after moratorium. That is insane, though. Oh my God, we actually lost Will Riley to the Seattle Supersonics. So that means Wemby is a free agent. Of course, I have no cap space. So I basically lost a franchise legend for nothing. Why did he leave us? I don't know. All right, well, that is kind of a shame. This is now Lionel Cooper stepping into the mix, the former #1 overall pick. And to replace Will Riley, we're going to get Stephon Sorrentine on a 3-year, $18 million deal. He was like a G League guy. Yeah, that is kind of insane. And how were they able to afford Will Riley and Wemby? All right, maybe our dynasty is over. So yeah, we'll see what Lionel Cooper can do. Him and Sheldon Reed in that backcourt. McKinney's going to be playing a ton. He's going to be back to the center spot this year once again. Actually, what we're going to do, I think we're going to make Vin Floyd the small... All right, we'll keep him at the 4 spot. It's fine. So, yeah, we'll see what this team is going to operate with Reed, Cooper, Floyd. McKinney's going to definitely play more minutes than that. He's going to get like 34 minutes a night. Then we're going to have Jenkins, Jermaine, James Jr., Triple J, Damian White, and Sorrentine off the bench. And we'll see how this team is going to perform without Will Riley. Let's see how we go up against them. And we start off 0-2. Will Riley drops 31-11 against us. All right, I actually have to, well, let me remember to add the expansion teams this time around. And then also, I got to go through each expansion team, and they're all getting like 40 minutes a night, which is kind of annoying. So I'm going to add a team to Montreal, and I'm going to add a team to St. Louis. And Cameron Boozer just wins another MVP. Garrison Carlson, that #1 overall pick, is your rookie of the year to Cincinnati. Adrian Macy, 6th man of the year. He was the 15th overall pick out of Michigan State to the Hornets back in 2036. Wemby, another deep boy. The sky is blue. We get another coach of the year, though. We go 16-22 without Will Riley. Okay, that's pretty dope. I'll take that. We are the 1 seed without Will Riley. So I want to see. They ended up making it as the 8th seed this year over in the West. Riley was very good for them. And they had, the MVP of last year as well. I wanted to show you guys the league leaders of this season. So you have this Paul guy in Milwaukee, Lex Gilliard, who was the 5th overall pick back in 2031. Rolando Wiles, 7th overall pick in 2030. Celso Covington. Edmund Leonard, he was the 10th overall pick in 2034. Is he also Michigan State? Yeah, a lot of Michigan or Michigan State guys balling out right now. And here are the numbers from this season as Lionel Cooper is looking like a stud with that #1 overall pick. So I'm glad I made a move for that. Sheldon Reed maybe didn't step up. I thought he could this year, though, now that Will Riley's no longer here, as a top scoring option. But he's going to get more minutes in the playoffs. And we're taking on the Baltimore Barons in round #1. They have Jamal McKnight, Will Ingram, who I think has been very good here, and former Boston Celtic, who's been bouncing around since. Carter Bryant, still a solid player in this league, but he's getting towards the end of his career. We lost game 1. Oh my God. There goes our, 9 straight NBA final streak. And we lost in round #1. That is crazy. So we just dominated the NBA for 9 years. It's not like we lose in the finals or the conference finals. We lost in round 1 to an 8th seed nonetheless. All right, so I guess we were a fraudulent 1 seed. It's unfortunate. Lionel Cooper was not great, really, in that series. Frankie Jenkins was actually pretty good. Sheldon Reed, he's been somewhat disappointing. He's got 3 years left on his deal. Could there be a trade this offseason? All right, Clippers, Pistons in the finals. And the Clippers are the first different NBA champions in a decade. All right, shout out to Los Angeles. Anthony Edwards retires. So does Evan Mobley. Derek Lively, Celtics legend pretty much. They end up retiring. A bunch of guys from the 2024 draft class end up retiring as well. Anthony Edwards and Evan Mobley both head to the Hall of Fame. Wow, Robert Dillingham got his jersey retired by Minnesota. That is pretty dope. We are going to add 2 new expansion teams to the league. So looking at the realignment, yeah, makes sense to have Montreal and Toronto in the same division. We're going to throw the St. Louis Thunderbirds in the Central. Since DC is in the Southeast Division with the Wizards, we're going to throw Baltimore in there as well. And then looking here, I think we're going to have to... Oh, no. So the Northwest, they'll have the Supersonics, which is good with me. San Diego and Vegas in the Pacific. And then the Southwest, pretty much as expected. I think Memphis, forget if they were in the Eastern Conference, but if so, they're going back to the West since we just added 2 Eastern Conference side teams. And we are here to protect some players. I think Sorrentine, yeah, we could end up losing on Clifton Tucker, which will kind of stink. So do I want to keep Clifton Tucker or J.R. Hunter? I think I'd rather keep Tucker. So we're going to let Hunter potentially walk here in the expansion draft as Davion Thompson was the #1 overall pick. He ends up going to the Thunderbirds, then Dave Banks, Randy Augustine. Yeah, there goes Jared Hunter. He was picked in the 3rd round. And unfortunately, we didn't have our 1st round pick this year. It went to a different team from a trade we made. It ended up going to, let's see, the Hawks there at 35. So, I mean, I ended up losing the 35th overall pick. That's fine with me. It looks like the Pacers got a very good point guard. Oh my God. They're going to be making $22 million a year because of inflation. The #1 overall picks. That's insane. Lionel Cooper, you're going to come back on that team option. We just let go a guy of the name Reed Reed. I don't think the parents thought too much. Wasn't there like a Philip Phillips, like country star at one point? Jermaine James Jr., I'm going to bring back, hopefully on a front-loaded contract. We don't really have too much cap space. I mean, probably the most amount of cap space in free agency we've had in a while. I would love to bring back or bring in D. Goodwin. Can I sign both of these guys, or are they going to say I can? I'm fully ready to be let down. Oh, I'm able to sign both. Very nice. Oh my God. Remember Elliot Falls? Look how good he is now. Oh, that is somebody. I'm kind of looking at Sheldon Reed trades. I don't really know if I want to do this one, but that's a pretty good offer. I kind of want to do this trade with the Warriors. I mean, Terrell Terror is not the greatest. Alonzo Blount would be pretty good. And then we start Damian White at the point guard spot. He's got 1 year left on his deal. All right, I'm going to do this trade with the San Diego Storm. We're getting Malik Thomas, who's a little bit on the older side, but we're getting Garrison Carlson, the most recent Rookie of the Year winner for Sheldon Reed and Frankie Jenkins. They're both going to go to San Diego. There's a chance I could move Malik Thomas as well. I don't know if I can make Cooper. How tall is Cooper? 6'5". Like, I don't know if I'm going to make him or Thomas a shooting guard, or maybe make one of these guys a point guard. I don't really know. I mean, maybe Cooper could play a little bit of point guard this year, but I think Thomas could eventually be somebody we move at the deadline. All right, so Malik Thomas is a 96 overall. Keldon McKinney is a 91. Lionel Cooper is a 91 as well. He's our guy going forward for the rest of this rebuild. And the starting 5 is going to be Malik Thomas at the 1, Cooper at the 2, Floyd at the 3, Carlson at the 4, and McKinney at the 5, with White, James, Goodwin, and Donovan Braun coming off the bench. All right, we're going to make a massive trade here with the Minnesota Timberwolves at the deadline. Malik Thomas going to Minnesota at 33. D. Goodwin going with him for Jose Nunez, pretty good player. And then also Edmund Leonard is coming over here, maybe an even better player. What's good about those guys, they're under 30. And we're going to have Damian White, Lionel Cooper, Leonard, McKinney, Nunez. We have Carlson coming off the bench, Floyd, James, Braun. Let's get back into final conversation. All right, Cameron Boozer wins just another MVP. How old is he? He's 33, and he has won 8 MVPs. He has won every single MVP since 2033, outside of 2034 and 2037 and 9. Leon Wagner is your Rookie of the Year to the Indiana Pacers. VJ Edgecombe is your depoy in where's the St. Louis. So shout out to him winning depoy at 35. It's cool to see Wemby not win these anymore. There's nothing I can do. I fire coaches from these expansion teams. It sucks that there is that glitch where they just end up playing everybody 48 minutes a night. Jason Kidd is your Coach of the Year once again. I mean, how many straight Coach of the Years has Jason Kidd won? Because he maybe has won a lot. Oh my God, he's won every single Coach of the Year since 2031. He has dominated the last decade of basketball here in Boston. It's a different looking team, but I think we can go back to the NBA Finals. Let's see if we can do so. Can we end up getting out of the play-in tournament? We should beat St. Louis, or the play-in tournament team, I should say. We're the 1 seed, and we beat Philadelphia in 7 in the conference finals, and we're here in the NBA Finals against the Clippers, who kind of like the Rockets when they won the NBA Finals when Jordan left to go play baseball. This is kind of us. Like, you know, they won the finals last year. Maybe that was like our off year, and we're right back into it. And we'll see if we're able to beat the Clippers here in the NBA Finals. Oh my God, they beat us. Wow, in 6, which is what happened with Jordan, right? Didn't they lose in the No, Jordan was 6-0 in the finals. Duh. I think it was the Shaq year I'm thinking of. But yeah, Roland Walker is your finals MVP. All right, that is our first finals loss in quite some time here for the Boston Celtics. How did they look at the finals? Lionel Cooper, man, he's a star. Edmund Leonard was not. And there goes Chet Holmgren, Bub Carrington, Bilal Koulibaly, Pacomi Dadiet. A couple of French guys end up retiring. Here's staff retirement, so we're good. Jason Kidd doesn't decide to retire. Chet Holmgren solo in the Hall of Fame, and he gets his jersey retired by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Phil Hayes, we are going to sign as our rookie. We're bringing back Cooper, Carlson, Clifton Tucker, and Ed Wesley. We are going to let walk. I do want to show you guys the #1 overall pick in this draft. It was by the Indiana Pacers once again. It's looking like, though, they maybe passed up on a better player because they drafted a point guard last year. Not going to offer any guys here the qualifying offer, so let's go here. Nikola Topic is a free agent. We can't really afford anybody, but I'm fine with the team next year. I think we can get back in the NBA Finals. Maybe I try to find an upgrade over Damian White at the point guard spot, but I think he gets the job done. Cooper, Leonard, McKinney, Floyd, like, I don't know. Carlson is here. Do we need Carlson? McKinney, who I did extend, Nunez, and Brown. I don't know. Like, I think maybe at the point where we want to, I don't know, like maybe I'm going to move Leonard Floyd, or not Leonard Floyd. That's an NFL player. I'm actually going to do this straight with the St. Louis Thunderbirds. We're going to get Lefteris. Not going to try to pronounce that last name, but it gives us some more point guard depth. He's under control for the next 2 years, as Vin Floyd is a free agent at the end of the year. Yeah, because Carlson is now a 90 overall. He's going to be a free agent in 2 years. I feel like he's got to be the power forward of the future. I think this is another really good team. Once we run into like a contract situation, like shout out to Jermaine James being here this long, even though he's honestly not that good. We just don't have a great bench. But looking at our salary cap breakdown, like we're negative $111 million this year. Leonard's a free agent. Cooper's a free agent. They're both going to make a ton of money, so maybe there could be a trade. Like Nunez is gone. We move McKinney back to the 5 spot, and then Carlson is the full-time power forward. All right, Cameron Boozer just wins another MVP this year. Elliot, oh my God, 2K. Elliot Falls, that was the shooting guard, right? They just had another one named that. He was the 27th overall pick out of Canada. All right, I guess it's a common name now. Cameron Boozer's just winning depoys. He may go down as the GOAT, and I think we're going to see the GOAT head coach, Jason Kidd, 73-9 with this team. Lionel Cooper ends up on All-NBA third team. The former #1 overall pick out of Duke is looking like a star in this league, still only 23. And we end the season with Cooper leading the way, and then Edmund Leonard, who wanted like an $80 million per year extension. There's Garrison Carlson that I think needs to be in the starting lineup once again next year. I don't know. I think that means maybe Nunez is gone because McKinney has been here for so much longer. So I'd like to keep him throughout the final last couple of years of this video. So we're taking on Philadelphia in round #1. They gave us a fight in the conference finals recently. We sweep them. We beat Chicago in 5, and we've owned Milwaukee in the playoffs, and we sweep them. So Malik Thomas, who spent half a season here, Western Conference Finals MVP for Minnesota. Really good player, and obviously we traded him. Lionel Cooper just dropped 30 in the Eastern Conference Finals. So Minnesota has Devin Cleveland as their point guard. They've Zion Green, AJ Thompson, AC Cavers. So they have pretty cool AJ and AC there in the front court. And can we win back? Oh my God, yeah, we ended up winning in 7. Lionel Cooper Finals MVP. So after losing in the finals last year to the Clippers, we get it done this year, winning in 7. And we have 2 more years left of this rebuild, and I'd like to end this video off on a 3-peat. So we won the first one. Let's end up winning 2 more in a row as VJ Edgecombe heads to the Hall of Fame, but it said Ryan Hampton there. 2K is bugging and glitching out right now. All right, so I'm going to save a bunch of money with this trade. We're going to send Jose Nunez to the San Diego Storm for Todd Ingram, who is a former 17th overall pick. He's going to be the backup center, and Richard Harden here, former wing from VCU of the Atlantic 10. We're going to give Lionel Cooper the qualifying offer. I got to pay him, and I do have to pay a ton of money to, what's his name, Edward Leonard again, who I'm going to give a 5-year deal to. And then I'm going to match whatever Lionel Cooper gets. And JJ Andrews is your MVP this season. How old is he? 34 years old. Hey, I know he's playing 40 plus minutes a night, but I'm just glad it's not Cameron Boozer anymore. And we get to see somebody new. Not a new coach of the year, though. We went 74-8. I feel like he's going to have like the most wins in coaching history. I don't think you're able to view that in 2K. But Kid just consistently winning 70 games every year. And if we look at our most recent records, like 73, 68, 60, 67, look at all these dominant seasons, 70-plus win seasons, that I couldn't get out of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But I've been able to get it after different guys since. So there's Ryan Hampton, the name that showed up when VJ Edgecombe ended up retiring. Lionel Cooper was our leading scorer, followed by Garrison Carlson, who's a beast. He's going to get a nice extension. Edward Leonard was still really good for us as well. I re-signed White, the point guard. We sweep Montreal in round #1, sweep Orlando, sweep Baltimore, and we beat Ace Bailey and the Pelicans in the finals before. Let's beat him on the Golden State Warriors. They did beat the Seattle Supersonics, so it would have been really cool to go up against Wemby and obviously Will Riley. But we're going to take on Golden State, a rematch of the 2022 finals, and we win in 5. So we were 1 game away from going 16-0 in those playoffs. Edmund Leonard looks kind of thick right there. Finals MVP. And we basically saw the last of Victor Wembanyama, who is for sure going to be in the Hall of Fame with Cooper Flagg and Carter Bryant. And we actually retired Carter Bryant's jersey number, which is pretty cool. Deion Purdue and Raymond Tate also end up coming back here, or excuse me, those are who we drafted, even though I shouldn't have my first round pick. Henry Walsh was the #1 overall pick to the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to hopefully bring back Carlson and Ingram. Final year, I will go so far over the cap just to get this team a 3-peat to end things off. So we're going to bring back Leftis here. Hopefully I'm able to get back Ingram on the qualifying offer and maybe even Carlson back on the QO. Never mind, I have to give him 3 years, 164. Thank God I'm able to afford that. And here we go. This is going to be the final year. Lionel Cooper, best player on this team, followed by Garrison Carlson, Edmund Leonard, Kelly McKinney. There's Lefters. Yeah, I can't say his name. It's also cool that this is going to be a farewell tour for Will Riley at the end of the year. Let's see if we can end off year number 20 with a 3. And the last MVP of the video is going to go to Baba over there in Seattle. Henry Walsh is your Rookie of the Year. Everett Barber, 6th Man of the Year. He was the 32nd pick. Sick haircut in 2039. Baba wins Depoy. Sam Sharp, Most Improved. JD Foster, Clutch Player of the Year. And oh my God, we went 80-2 in the final year. That's unreal. This team is absolutely stacked. 82? And we just went 82-0 with this team. Oh my God. Lionel Cooper's a 99 overall. Carlson's a 98. I would have these guys for the next like 10 plus years. Both are 25 years old. Wow. Oh my God. That is insane. What was our point differential? 29.3. Oh my God. We were the #1 offensive team by far. #1 defensive team. Can we go 16-0 in the playoffs? We just went 80-2 in the regular season. Oh my God. Baltimore beat us. St. Louis beat us. And Garrelson Carlson averaged 28 in the conference finals. We're taking on Seattle, and we sweep them. So we go 16-2 in the final year. Edmund Leonard, not even our 299 or 98 overalls, get finals MVP. So the Boston Celtics now in team history have 30 NBA championships. 30 of them. 36 conference finals. That is insane. 80-2 record. Yeah, that's absurd, man. That really is. If we go to the league history, just Jason Kidd getting Coach of the Year basically every year for like the last 15 years. We didn't get any MVPs, I think, throughout this, unfortunately. Yeah, but obviously a ton of finals MVPs. Edmund Leonard with 2. Cooper with 1. Kelvin McKinney with 4 straight. Will Riley with 4 straight. And Carter Bryant got our first one since the Jaylen Brown one in 2024. I don't know if we would have any like team records broken throughout this. Like if we went to a season, Jason Tatum in 2027, I guess total points in 2026, which is pretty cool. He's got some field goals made. Obviously, a bunch of 3-pointers made in a single season. And that is going to be for me. I hope you guys did enjoy this 20-year Celtics rebuild. If you did, I would appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments which 20-year rebuild we should do next. And I'll catch you guys in that next one. Peace.